We are live.
Sam, didn't you mention?
That is weird, you guys. You guys want to know what happened?
What?
So, for a long time, anytime I use StreamYard and go live into my profile, my regular profile, Waylon Maccabee, it would automatically start off as private. And today it didn't. Very weird. That music's a little bit low, isn't it? It's okay.
It can go up a hair.
Fix it in a minute. Just getting these tags out there. Tag and share, everybody.
I'm on it.
We're probably all tagging a lot of the same people. Hopefully not. I'm going to try to stick to people who are like outside of the ones that we all know together.
Does we got 4 people in the building, but no comments yet. So cheers, cheers, cheers. Hello, everybody.
I can't tag Zach for some reason.
Hello, Sarah. What's up, Joe?
This is going to be a long tag message. Heck, did it disappear? Oh, there it goes. All right, sharing out to the groups. I am on my profile again. I feel like it's actually better to get more reach that way because the other 2 options I had were not good. I didn't fix up Rumble yet.
Just a sec. I know.
More reach that way because the other 2 options I had were not good. I didn't fix up. Episode 30, everybody. All right, I'm trying to share to some groups now. Just gonna hit some of the big ones real quick so we can get moving. can't think of any other obvious ones.
Hit that like button, guys. Got 5 people in the building, only 2 reactions. Come on, everybody.
It might end up being a slow night. It's all good.
Follow,
Chill,
like,
have
and share. Follow, like, and share. There we go. 4 reactions. Come on, 6 people in the building. 4 reactions. All you gotta do is hit that like button. Hello, hello, everybody. Cheers, cheers, cheers. This is a cannabis-friendly program, so smoke them if you got them.
All right, it's
What's up, Jimmy? Valerie, hello, hello, guys.
Well, let me get that link in the comments, guys. Some of you might be finding us from my page, and some of you might be on the profile, and might have some on YouTube. So you guys are aware, there's multiple places right now.
Cheers, 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 everybody. Smoke them if you fucking got them, right?
All right, I'm gonna put that link in on the Indoor Farmer page. Right. Okay. Put it on the other
Sound
side
like
here.
a good old whack it right there.
Yes, sir. Locals.com, guys. Locals.com in the Locals app. Look for Waylon the Indoor Farmer.
Oh, it wasn't public. That's weird. I swear it was set up as public on my phone, but it's okay.
What's up, Trey? Hello, Sarah.
All right, guys. What do you think we get this party started?
Shit, we partying, motherfuckers. 9 people here.
Hit that opening music, Maestro.
Let's go, let's go.
And we're off.
It's the opener.
Here's the thing with addiction is never say never because when you're an addict, like I never
That's awkward.
And we're back.
And we're back. I swear I shut off the overlay, but what I did was I shut off the background by accident.
Man, I won't be able to get over that entrance, though. That entrance is freaking awesome.
Well, what I was going to do is this. Yeah. What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday night, and welcome back to another episode of People in the Boxes, where we ask you guys to come in and hang out and share your experience on the topic, and we share each other's experiences and maybe get a little bit more perspective on life. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's do it right one more time. People in the Boxes, everybody, episode number 30. That's right. Hello, Val. Hello, Ashley. Everybody in the comments, Jesse. Everybody, guys, thanks a lot for stopping through. If you guys don't have the time to hang out all night, I understand. We understand. Just show us a little love. Show us hit that like button. We got about 7 likes right now. Let's get that ratio up there. I'm thinking we're actually going to do. I'm thinking about it. I may not say it just yet, but well, fuck it. Why not, guys? Let's do. I'm going to see where I'm at on my Cash App. I'm going to try to, not now, Cash Up. I'm going to try to get us some unique shares, some new shares, share out to places that we're not used to seeing tonight. So let's look at the, I'm going to check the shares periodically, and I'm going to give away, oh man, it's tempting.
Hello,
It's tempting to
Didi.
go
Hello,
up there.
Jesse.
I'm just going to start. I'm going to do a $20 giveaway. I might choose to do more if we get a bunch of shares, but we're going to do the share thing. We're going to try and incentivize getting ourselves out there a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And why is that link not? I swear I put it in the comments, you guys. Oh, I didn't. I know what I didn't do. I didn't pin it. I got to pin it. Got to pin the link and get you guys to come up and get somebody to share some experiences. I have some experiences. We have a lot of things to talk about for sure within fear. I mean,
Thank
you
you,
guys,
Didi.
we thought emotions was too big of a topic, and I thought, well, why not just emphasize, fear and maybe a little bit of relation to fear amongst the other emotions, right? And again, this isn't about showing you how much I know. It's talking about getting perspective and getting shared experiences on the topics. You guys, let me know if you see that pin. I am not seeing it though.
I got you.
I see it on my computer. I don't see it on
There.
my phone.
There you go. It's right on the screen.
Okay, cool. Because I know I'm in two different places, and I am not seeing it on this. That was crazy. Okay, I might just do this anyway. I'm gonna share it out from my phone. So, how's everybody doing? How are you doing, Jason? Let me get this out of your face real quick.
Doing good,
I haven't
man.
seen you in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Well, last night, but
got a lot going on. Got a lot going on right now. A lot going on behind the scenes. We got the Waffle House back open with Melanie. She's been doing a lot over there with the Waffle House and everything, and so just trying to keep things going. Trying to keep things going.
Pin comment.
That's good.
That is weird. Now I see it on my phone pinned. Even though, anyway, Facebook, literally like 3 or 4 things that should not happen have happened to me in the last like 20 minutes. Things that just don't make any sense at all. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Dandelion, what's up? Let's get a little, I'm going to put the tunes back on, just like a little bit lower background.
Steve-O, how you doing today?
Yeah,
I'm not doing bad, bro. Thanks for asking.
Thanks. I was getting there. I'm sorry, Steve-O.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
Hey, man.
I'm giving you some of your dry humor back.
Well,
I'm just giving you some of your dry humor.
Somebody's got to be wet in here. We can't do that.
That's emotional. My emotions are hurt, Waylon, that you didn't ask how we felt.
Yeah. It's weird that we all have the same emotions, but some of us, they're connected to totally different, separate things. Like each person is so individual on how we use them. Mm-hmm. And fear is one of those things that people, I think, I'm going to go out on a limb and say most people don't want to talk about fear in general. So we'll see how many people want to participate, and that's okay if they don't. If it's just us three.
I'd rather talk about fear than my emotion.
Well, fear is an emotion, Jason.
You're correct there. You're correct.
Now,
fear is one of the big emotions.
It is. Now, I did want to bring up, I had a few items to bring up, and I'll tell us a story to start the show if you guys want. I'll tell you a war story. Don't tell them too often. I'll tell you guys one. But first, we're going to hit a little bit of that medicine, loosen up our fears of talking about fear, right? And I'm gonna smoke on some of this homegrown on that psychedelic swan that I have here. Thanks, Kasia.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that. Loosen up your feelings a little bit, loosen up your tongue a little bit with taking some of that medication. There's a lot of people use that, alcohol, weed, some other things to kind of mask feelings or maybe even open up more feelings. So this can be a very, very big subject. We got a lot to talk about tonight, guys. So stick around. It's going to be really, really good. We got
I don't
21
know.
people in the house here right now.
Yeah.
11 fucking, what we got? 11 reactions. 21 people and 11 reactions. Come on, guys. All you gotta do is hit that like button, hit that love button. You can even hit that angry emoji. Say,
Yeah,
fuck
show
these
us
guys.
what
They
you
ain't
feel.
worth it. Hit that angry emoji on your way out. You know.
It's funny that you bring up the angry emoji because I wanted to talk about the relation between anger and fear. A lot of times anger is because of fear.
Right,
Like
right.
Your fear triggers that anger. Like fear doesn't trigger sadness. Fear triggers anger, right? Like you fear what you fear what you don't understand, and then you're angry at things that you don't understand too, right?
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the points I wanted to make, and I will tell a story.
Well, let's pause on that story real quick.
Yeah,
Rodney's asking where we're at with shares. What do we got for a number that we're starting at, Waylon?
We got 6 shares on, and okay, you know what? I should specify this too. We're talking about on the page, Waylon the Indoor Farmer, sharing that. I have us live on my profile, mostly because I have a lot more followers on the profile. More people are getting notified and seeing that. So I'm trying to get us out there, get us seen. I'm not so worried as much. Because now I'm used to a lot of shows having multiple different streams to different pages and stuff. So I can't be so worried about everyone seeing all the comments. We're putting them up on the screen when we can. What's up, Elisa May?
What's up?
Told you I'd see you again.
Yep.
Yeah, long time no see.
So, guys, I could pull up.
That Joe in the background there, I can see his leg. What's up, Joe?
Hey, Joe.
There he is. I guess I can pull up both. I'll pull up both because I'm trying not to be too confusing to the audience. Lisa, I want to thank you for coming up. The whole thing about shares and because I want to be able to see both sides of my my profile and my page, so that way I can be accurate.
Well, I can't comment, and you just said that fear doesn't trigger sadness or depression, but my biggest fear triggers both. So my biggest fear is that I'll leave this world, and who will watch Dill or who will take care of Dill, and that triggers depression.
But sadness and depression, I guess, are they're very linked, right? But depression is a different. Depression, we've all agreed, is a disorder or a out of the ordinary feeling, right? Like depression isn't a survival instinct as to where fear is, and sadness is a pretty natural. I don't know. I think you're right in overall, but I was trying to distinguish the difference between how sad, like you wouldn't have sadness without love and without happiness. I think that's what triggers sadness, in my opinion.
Right. That's why you can't have a good time without the bad times, because you wouldn't know what the good times actually, you wouldn't understand what they were. So
maybe
I see what you're trying to say with that.
Yeah, maybe.
But yes, I think depression can be a feeling, an emotion, because you're not carrying it all the time, and sometimes you don't understand why you're depressed. It might just hit you. You can literally be driving down the road and all of a sudden it just hits you and you're depressed for that minute, for that song brought back a memory that makes you depressed. That billboard brought an emotion up that makes you depressed, because you can't do nothing about a certain situation. So I do understand the definition of depression, saying that is not a indefinite emotion or indirect emotion, a direct emotion, whatever they're saying that it is. But I think in other ways that it still is one that can definitely
that was my opinion. I think you guys have both kind of given me a different perspective on my thought with that. So
I think fears can cause anxiety, and anxiety sometimes comes with depression.
I was going to say that about anxiety. I think fear and anxiety are almost inextricably linked. I think I was going to sort of list some of my fears, and I realized that I typically list them as anxieties. Like I have anxiety about this or that, and like, getting this whole dream of mine off the ground, all these things. But those can be looked at as fears as well, because you're looking at like, okay, what is it really? I fear that I am not moving fast enough. I fear that I'm not doing something that I should be or that I could be. So I think it's funny how you can sort of intertwine those two. What's up, Ashley?
She's got a big one right there. I like that statement right there.
It's never forever unless you let it be. Gotta power through the I don't feel like it. Yeah.
Yep, I feel that's a big one right there.
Well, when you were talking about depression for a second there, I thought, well, that word depression, like if you were always at that low, it wouldn't be called depression, right?
Right.
It would be called, normal. But
see, one thing with depression too is I've always you got to remember depression. If you break down the word, deep rest. Deep rest. When I am in depression, that means my body needs a deep rest.
I still keep my shit together.
Well, but rest could be different things. A mental rest, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're just like physically tired.
It could be mental, physical, emotional. It could be any of them feelings. So when you are feeling depressed, you might need that deep rest, and sometimes it takes a little bit of something else to wake you up from that deep rest. It might take you a friend, a family member, some kind of significant event to pull you out of that depression. Sometimes you need help being woke up. Sometimes you're groggy in the morning and you need that cup of coffee. So if you look at it as in a different aspect, that that your body, your mind, your soul, your mental state, your mental stability is in that deep rest stage. Don't be scared to let somebody else help you out. Don't be scared to let somebody help wake you up. You know what I mean? So just look at it in a different light a little bit.
What's up, Jay Frost?
What's up, Frost?
Corner with Jay Frost.
What's going on, buddy?
How are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Having a little episode of people in the boxes here.
Sometimes I gotta tell myself that really some things we're not in control of, and we can't control. So
exactly. With that statement there, Lisa, with what Charlene says right there, a parent, our fears are huge. Like there's so many fears around our kids, and that's it. We will move a mountain for our children. It doesn't matter what it is. We're bulletproof. We're 10 feet tall. It don't matter if we literally have to, sometimes we feel like murder somebody for our children. We would do it no matter what.
We're at 75 shares, guys. If we can get to 100 shares, I'm going to give away $20.
Look at that.
75 shares.
75 shares, guys.
I know it's cheap. I know it's cheap, but I'm just going to do it this time. We're going to try and get a little bit of a reach out there, more so than usual, just because, why not? Instead of paying Facebook to boost our post or whatever, I'd rather get natural, like organic boost from you people, from people who are in our community, who are in our space.
So, Mr. Frost,
Fire in the Hole's in the building. What's up, Fire in the Hole?
Go ahead, Steve-O.
Oh, I was just going to ask him if he had anything to add when it comes to the fear topic that we're talking about here.
He's a new dad. We were just mentioning kids, and it's like, maybe he's not. I'm not going to speak for him, but man, being a new parent was stressful.
It has new challenges every day, but I must be different than everybody else. 'Cause
you are. That's why I like you.
I'm not really afraid, like most people would, like that. Like I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it when it comes to that type of question. Like,
Well, fear doesn't mean like you're debilitated, like you're
Yeah.
scared because you're crying and you're. But a fear could be a natural worry or an anxiety. That was one of my questions I was going to pose is like, what are some really small fears? You know, like I fear knocking my bong over sometimes when I'm moving around my desk. You know, what are some like everyday fears that we had that we don't think about as like a enormous fear, but it's like, yeah, I'm worried that I, forgot to give my dog his medicine. You know, like little things. Like big things don't scare me. Sometimes it's more like, I don't know. Does that make sense? I know they're little anxieties, but they're also it's a fear. It's fear that makes you think. When your heart drops when like you thought you knocked something over. You know, you look and you have that
fear. I mean, we have different types of worries.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's a fear or if it's like a.
Let's look at the
An
definition.
attachment thing, you know what I mean? It's just a bond. Fucking knock it over and break it. It's just a bond. What? Who gave it to you? Dad? He died? Your great grandmother's heirloom has got a diamond in it. What? It's just an attachment.
No, it's irrational, but
we
it's
fear losing the attachment. I guess like it's just a bond. Go buy a new one.
Here you go.
Afford a new one. Well, I fear having to dip into my savings to buy a new bond.
This is what Google says. Google says fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. So you're right. Then those are not fears. Me thinking that I might make a mess is not a fear.
When your son gets his driving permit, that's a fear.
Yeah, that's.
What about disappointment?
Am I in the car with them? Maybe.
Yeah. What do you think about disappointment? Like feeling in
your life.
just disappointing people, because some people feel like that's a fear that they're scared they're going to disappoint their parents. They're scared they're going to disappoint.
Well, they get anxiety.
So that would be more of an anxiety than a fear, right? You think, or
yeah.
I fear running out of weed.
But it
I think those two go hand in hand.
Again, though, who am I to put a 1 to 10 value on your anxiety to say that something isn't a fear?
Right.
I mean, who am I?
Yeah.
Who's any of us in this box to say I'm going to quantize the 1 to 10 for you?
And that's what I said earlier about how we all have the same emotions, but everybody's is triggered by different things, which is really interesting to me. Like things like fear and love, they're very different for different people. Jimmy, I know you're having signal issues in the hospital, bro. I appreciate you coming up either way. I don't care how many times you got to blip in and out. Definitely hang out with us for sure.
Hope you feel better, Jim.
Last summer, I faced one of my biggest fears. Me and Joe were driving out to my cousin's house, and we were on a 2-lane highway, and there was this car coming right at us, and it would not get out of our lane. It was coming head on at us. And in the passenger seat, there ain't nothing I could do but close my eyes and hope somebody makes the right decision, whether it's Joe or her. But at the very last second, Joe swerved over into her lane because she was not moving. And I was banging on the window like, you stupid.
Hey, did any of you guys hear about this green comet?
But yeah, that was a fear. We're dying.
Waylon, you see them 3 right there? You want to get that out of here? You want me to do it?
I was about to look at what that is. Is that from?
Yep. Do you understand the lingo?
I don't.
I got it. I deleted the comment, so we'll give them one more chance. If it pops up again, they're out of here. Tiff, that's your last warning, buddy.
What? I missed it. What's going on?
Reading comments.
Offering a plug.
Plug. Oh, that's what that means. Yeah. Plug.
Yeah.
Very discreet.
That's your last
there,
warning, buddy. You're out of
Rosie.
here after that. So we'll give you the first chance. There you go. There's a hi, y'all. Okay.
You do it like the rest of us, and you just become well enough known amongst friends. That's how you do it.
We're on too many platforms for that, buddy. Sorry.
Can I ask this? I don't want to be morbid, but I just want to be sure I ask this. does anyone else have a fear of dying alone?
Or death in general. I mean, that's a big one by itself. But
No,
but
I mean
I
alone.
have fear of dying alone. Yes,
Alone.
we got to live
What do you
together, or
mean
we're
by
gonna die alone.
though? Do you
It's
mean
one of
like
my biggest
All by
stations.
myself. Have a heart attack sitting in my chair right now, all by myself, no one around. That's what I'm scared of.
Well,
Being a
actually,
CNA, that became a reality for me because I watch lots of people sit in their room every day with nobody and die alone. So a lot of the time we do die alone or don't have anybody at the end of life. So yourself.
Ugh. Nah.
better like yourself by the end, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. He's making an effort. Or she.
Yep,
Fake.
making an effort now, so we're good.
Come on up on screen.
That's why we don't automatically kick people out. You know, we give them a chance. You know, make an effort, and you're good to go. As long as you don't dong us.
Oh yeah.
Kat makes a good point too.
No.
The fear of a loved one finding you or having to be with you. So those are all legitimate, and I think getting back to the natural, like the reason that we have fear, like there are good reasons to have fear, right? It's a survival instinct mechanism. You know, it helps you with predators and things like that. But now we have all these sort of new fears where, and more of a personal note, like before I went overseas, I was not the kind of person that was out there on Facebook before. And then during the whole time for the 10 years afterwards, I wasn't putting myself out there. I didn't think it mattered. I didn't think anyone, like no one's hitting like on anything I put out. So what does it matter? Well, you got to play the algorithm. You got to know how the app works and all these things that I've learned since, right? But the reason that I had to learn these things is because I made a decision that I shouldn't be afraid anymore of what people, you know, might say or think or do to me on social media, because I have a bigger reason, a higher purpose to do these things. So I had a fear of that. It was like, well, I don't want to be, you know, I know that how bad the apps are. I know how they're manipulating us, so I should just stay away from them. But then I decided to change that and was like, you know, let's just not be afraid of that. Let's move forward and try to use what my passion of my whole like idea as a, you know, as a way to get out there again, you know. So it's that was definitely a fear that I overcame. But let me tell you guys this war story real quick that I wanted to tell you guys. You might laugh. It's funny. So some of you might not know this. I was in the military. I went overseas, and when we trained, well, here's the funny part. We trained to go to the desert, upwards of 140 degrees Fahrenheit. We trained in Wisconsin in the wintertime. So it was like negative 40 degrees. It was like kind of funny. I mean, that we had to get, we trained somewhere where the water was freezing in order to go somewhere where the water would boil. Anyway, so we trained in Wisconsin for about a month, or maybe it might have been closer to 2 months, a few weeks anyway. And while they were training us to go overseas, they told us multiple times during briefings, they said that, let me see if I can find an example. Well, you guys know what a soda can looks like. They told us that an IED, which is an improvised explosive device that they would make over there, the insurgents and the bad guys would make those, and they would tell us that they're now capable of making one about the size of a soda can. And they said that over and over again. You know, they can put it in a soda can. It's about the size of a grenade or a handheld size soda can, right? So then fast forward, and we're driving. We go overseas. We started off in Kuwait, which is somewhat of a safer place, and then we drive our trucks and we haul all our stuff, kind of like the Beverly Hillbillies. You know, load it all up and move to Beverly, except for it was about 30 minutes north of Baghdad where we lived. So we were driving up through Iraq, and we get into Baghdad, and we first get into Baghdad, right? And by this time we're all still new in the country. Everyone's still like on edge. And at this time we didn't have any orders to deal with any like civilians that were driving near us. And so we come into the city on a 4-lane highway, And this guy comes up driving next to me, and I'm driving an 18-wheeler with, I think we might have had water with us or fuel. And
Pretty good. How are you?
and here, I'm just gonna mute you, Miss Big June.
Yep.
This is where it gets good right here. So we're driving along, getting into the city, and this little pickup truck comes up driving next to me. And I can tell you guys right now, it was literally like slow motion. I could still see it right now, like literally like frame by frame. And this guy tosses a soda can out the window. You know, the one thing that they kept telling us, you know, soda can. And so he tosses a soda can out the window. And I'm like, I can see it like slow motion, like woof, 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 like spinning in the air, you know. And then it's time all of a sudden, like piece catches back up, and as it hits the ground, you know, ting ting ting, and as it bounces past me, and as it was in the air, I'm just like, well, like all fear had left, and it was just like, well, game over, you know. It was like that's what they were telling us about is right there, you know.
Yeah.
It was just an empty can, you know. It wasn't anything, but it was just like they had us amped up the whole time, and then suddenly the one thing like shows up, and so yeah, it was, you know, for a second it was just like and then see ya, and then just gone. So,
well, it's funny that you say they had you amped up like that. Look at our news.
Yeah.
Our news causes so much fear. And then a couple minutes ago, you said that we have to deal with fears that people didn't used to deal with. But back then, there was fears that we don't have to deal with in a certain way. You know, I remember back in school hiding underneath our desk from a nuclear bomb. What? I'm sorry, but our desk is not going to stop a nuclear bomb from dropping. Right. You know, and even before then, stuff during the Cold War and things like that, at any point in time, thinking that could be the end. You hear that raid siren go off or whatever, and, you know, even fear of weather, the hurricanes, tornadoes, typhoons, earthquakes.
Natural disasters, yeah.
Yeah.
That can be.
You know, so...
Illinois.
Oh, by the way, guys, we're up to 110 shares. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you guys.
I'm
Thank
putting
you.
a number wheel together now.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll do that sooner than later because I know everybody's in and out on their way about their night, and I appreciate you guys stopping in. Definitely hit that like button. Thank you guys for any shares and tags and all that good stuff.
Well, what about fears of animals? Like, I'll pass out pretty much if you bring a snake near me.
Yeah,
I don't like them things at all.
That's a big one, but that is a phobia, isn't it? Or does that phobia turn into a fear? Where does it turn into a fear?
Good point, Jason.
I was going to look up phobias too.
You know, because where does a phobia turn into a fear, or where does a fear turn into a phobia? Because it started out that you were originally scared of snakes, and then it's to that point now that you are so terrified that it has turned into a phobia, is the way I see it.
I think a phobia is an irrational fear of something.
An irrational? What do you mean? Why would you claim it irrational?
Like, to say, okay, like someone can be afraid of a snake, but for someone to pass out at the sight of a snake, that's irrational. So I would think that would be more like a phobia, right?
Okay.
I think it's irrational too, but I'm going to look at the definition right now. It says an extreme or irrational fear of or aversion to something. So like yeah, and that's the only definition.
This is actually a podcast we do every week.
Oh, wow.
Actually, a couple times a week.
Nice.
Hello in there. Hopefully, appreciate you guys taking care of our buddy in there.
Yeah, take
Oh,
care.
hey, well, this is my nurse, Alexandra.
Hello.
What's
Take care,
up?
Big
Nice
Jim.
to meet you.
His friend's doing good. He wants to go home.
Yeah.
Well, I bet he does.
Speaking of, where's
Yeah, he's
Melanie?
eager to go home. Maybe they'll let him go home this week, huh?
No, that sounded like they denied it.
Mm.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Hi,
Keep,
Keisha.
keep
I didn't
hanging
want
in
to
there,
interrupt.
Jim.
Sorry.
That's okay. Where is Melanie? Did she?
She's probably taking a nap. She was in a
Okay.
little bit of pain earlier, so she had
That's
to
okay.
take a
And then
little
she
bit of a
sees me
break.
sitting here and she's reminded of her 2 weeks she's spent in the hospital.
See you later.
She's going back, Jimmy. So yeah, she's not doing very good.
Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah, there's a lot of people right now that it's just life's hitting hard. You know, freaking.
Oh yeah, they're coming in over here left and right.
Yeah.
When I was over in Pekin, I was the only person up on the ICU that didn't have COVID and was.
Yeah.
You got the H1N1 going around over here too.
Oh really?
So I
Isn't that
tell
green
people, I'm like,
comment
man,
flew-
you
flew
got
by
some
us last
positive
night.
vibes and thoughts out to everybody.
That's what's crazy. Got me thinking about stuff today. That comet that blew past us last night, the green comet or whatever. The last time it was this close to us was started the Ice Age.
Oh really? This is the. Well, so you think okay? Well, that's definitely side note. But I've heard that our planet gets close to the asteroid belt every like 15 to 20,000 years, and that they think maybe we pulled one of those in. And now you're saying that this is a comet, and that's a separate thing, right? So I'm sure there's a few things that.
Yeah,
get
the
close
last
enough
time
to-
it was here was 50,000 years ago.
Wow.
We got hit by a comet 12,500 years ago.
We'd probably get hit by multiple things. I'm guessing solar flares. all
Oh
that.
right.
So, guys, I know you've. How does it say? How they say on the plane? It's like we know you have choices to fly, and thank you for flying with us. We have 11 people watching. I have a spin wheel here. I'm going to do 1 to 15, just because I want to do this before I forget, and I know people can't hang out for hours just for $20. So we're going to spin it. We're going to put this in the comments real quick. I'm going to put it in the Waylon the Indoor Farmer comments because I can't do both. Well, I can, but it'll take longer and blah, blah, blah. And I'd rather you guys go to my page anyway. So I'm at 982 tonight, you guys. That is awesome. I just got one while we've been on live. New follower. Thank you.
What are you doing the wheel for?
$20 just because we've had at least 35 to 40 shares, aside from what I did and what Jason and Steve-O have done. So I was just trying to push out to get more shares, more sharing going. I have a fear of cotton. That's Felicia. That sounds like a phobia.
Yeah, that's a phobia, I'd say.
Put in a phobia as a fear.
Yeah, she just said I have a fear of cotton. So it wouldn't that be a fear if she describes it that way, right? This is confusing. I feel like I'm a dictionary or something trying to figure out words.
I remember a lot of the shares that we're getting, those new shares are going to, people might check us out.
What is the
later
difference
tomorrow.
between a fear and a phobia?
Put it on the, well, you know what? I don't know if we really need to worry about it being in the
You just looked it up.
thread.
Wait,
What's the difference?
phobia? Mm-hmm.
Right,
So
right. What's the
the
difference?
phobia is an irrational fear that extreme or irrational fear or dislike of a specified thing or group. Now, a fear, though, is a fear of something dangerous or someone or something is dangerous, likely causing pain or a threat. That is
speak again. Sorry.
What about the fear of drowning? Does that count?
Thank you for putting that in the thread, guys. Donna has a 7 and Felicia has a 7. Did she change? Okay, so we have 2 7s. Donna, just because it's right by there, would you mind changing your number? Because Felicia did put a 7 and then she changed it. I don't know. I don't really know what the etiquette is there, but you ladies work it out. I appreciate you guys. You ladies, I should say. Molly with the 5. What'd you say there, Miss Kasia? Or was that Lisa May who said that?
So like the fear of drowning, you know what I mean? Like, is that an actual fear? like in the moment? Is that like your body reacting to it? You know, like when you just jump into water that's a little bit too deep and you can't touch the bottom, and then you go into like a quick panic.
Yeah, I would say that's a survival instinct, because I almost drowned as a kid.
Man, I don't even get a spot to comment on the StreamYard stuff.
You can see it. Oh, you can't comment. Yeah, I guess you're right. You can if we pay for the. I think you can if I pay for the next step up. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, Donna changed her number. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate that. And Felicia did say she'd take 11. Goodness, now you both. I think this Donna has me blocked. No, Felicia, you guys might be on two separate. No, that's not true, because you're both commenting in the number thread. Huh. Interesting. Or more, Felicia, you might be a little more set to private or something where they can't see each other. Check my PayPal, Valerie. Oh my gosh.
You know, I used to have anxiety about coming up on camera. Would you ever think that was true?
Yeah.
Bear with you.
I did too. I mean, I think a lot of us did, right? And you kind of get more used to it.
I feel like some of us still do, depending on how public the page is. You know, like this is very public.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's a lot of people that still would come up and only do voice because they're like, I can't be seen.
Right. Ashley, I think so. I'm not Ashley. Sorry, Anna. Apologize. It shows Ashley just came in. Or so it says Ashley's watching right above your
That's
comment.
probably because we care too much about what other people think.
All right, guys. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. Looks like everybody's in the thread except Miss Charlene. And Charlene, you most certainly can have 15. No one's going to bother you there. Although I'm concerned with Felicia and Donna having separate. No one has 7. Felicia's got 11 and Donna has 14.
So, Big Jim, are you claiming 7?
14.
You said 14?
But someone
We
else is
already have
14.
a 14.
Yeah.
But nobody has 7.
Well, then go ahead and I'll play 7 then if nobody has
Sounds
14.
good. That will work. That works. And I think that's enough. Anybody on screen? Yeah, Kasia, did you put a number up?
Yes.
Joe, question mark, is not going to win.
He didn't pick a number and I can't comment, so
He can't comment?
I can't.
Yeah, so Joe put a number in.
Oh, what number?
Put it on the thread though, if you can, the comment thread that.
What's
has
it
the number.
through?
15.
1 to 15. We got 13 people in here. You got 15 is taken, even though it's not on the thread, but I can remember that one. Still got like 12.
12. I'll take 12.
I'm way too high to do this.
Okay, go.
He's way too high to do this. Okay, all right.
He's picking 12. That's the number you said that's probably right.
Sounds good. Number 12. And Jim has 7. Okay, I'm hitting this button because I can't remember everything forever here. And ready, go. Good luck, everybody. It's for $20.
Good luck, everybody.
Number 10. So that's going to be number 12 who won.
I'm
We
number
don't have a
9.
10. We don't have a number
I'm
10.
number 9.
Yeah, but you went. Oh wait. How's it go? Yeah, you can't go over, right?
Oh.
So you're just under it. So it would be 12 that wins. Or I mean 11. I'm sorry. Whoever has 11.
And that's Felicia. She changed her.
That's right. I got it.
Good thing
You're
you
right.
Number.
Felicia.
Felicia, congratulations.
Good thing you changed, Felicia. See?
Yeah, that was close. That was a close race, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah, for tagging Doc.
Good job, Felicia. Good
Congrats,
job.
Felicia. And Val, I'm gonna check now. Are you?
Good job.
Sorry, Joe.
Go
I
here.
was mistaken there for a second. Thank you, Val. Appreciate you.
Yep, congratulations.
Woohoo.
Can't send stars because Facebook is dumb. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, Miss Felicia, if you want, I don't know if I have your Cash App.
And if you guys want to see other giveaways and things of this sort, that's why we need to look into supporting through locals, supporting through the Cash App, the Indoor Farmer, and even just your support of coming through of just a comment, a like, a share. See what the shares brought? It brought Felicia Buckner $20 tonight. So see?
Yeah, and I like knowing that those 110 shares aren't places that I shared it to. So there's a higher chance of us getting new views, new exposure, and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because I think we can really take off with this show. I have so many ideas on topics. We have a lot of good ideas. Tonight's a little bit of a serious topic, although fear, like without fear, there's probably no laughter. You think like funny and humor are like our way of diffusing things like fear?
Yeah.
I wonder, because there's a lot of things that happen to us where we're just like, well, you just gotta laugh. Jason said that the other day, not too long ago.
Yeah, I know people that laugh when they're scared, people that laugh when they're nervous, people that laugh all, Right there's Felicia's Cash App, Waylon.
Thanks, Felicia.
But yeah, even just in difficult situations.
That's my son. If you used to say, "Ooh, scary," he would just start laughing.
Yep. So,
or if he's getting hurt.
I want to know. Part of what I tried to look up, and I really couldn't find a true answer for it, is why do I start to sweat? Why does my body start to perspirate when I get nervous, when I get scared, when my anxiety gets really high? What is causing that bodily reaction? Because right now I'm good. I'm not sweating. My body temperature is not raised up. But why, when I get scared, when I get nervous, when this, that, or the other, just all of a sudden?
Well, I think that's your fight or flight response kicking in. That's going to get your heart racing. It's going to get your brain on point. It's going to get you, because you're scared or nervous. And I think that it's involuntary, obviously, So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Right, though, it's a little bit strange that you start like, what's this? What would we think the use, like the primal use of sweating, all of a sudden is? Like, is it like excreting hormones for some reason, or what's the
I think the sweating is just because your body temperature is going up.
Yeah.
Well, but you saying that, when I get angry, I don't sweat. Well, I mean, if I get angry to a certain degree, depending on the type of anger. If I'm yelling, screaming in an argument with somebody, I'm not sweating. If I'm about ready to get into a fight, a physical fight, there might be perspiration. But if I'm just sitting here having an argument with you, there's probably not going to be sweat beads forming on my forehead. I'm not going to be dripping down the sides. It's not going to be coming down my back. Some of you have been married, some of you haven't. Walking down that aisle is one of the sweatiest times in your life.
Oh yeah.
And what the hell?
Yeah. We're waking up.
You literally just want to vomit and puke and like, just what is going on? I was drinking in the church, and it wasn't that I was scared to get married or anything. It just, the nerves were through the roof. Like, oh my God, I might stumble over the words. I might fall walking up the steps. I might do this or that. I took a couple quick shots. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I was smoking everything. But so what is causing that to happen? But it's weird.
Well, like Val's saying though, maybe the sweating is just a byproduct of like what happens when our heart rate and our adrenaline, like Maui said, heart rate. I think that's just because it's our body getting rid of the heat that is happening from us being like amped up. So that makes sense. That's pretty obvious, right?
Well, I mean, and you figure a dab sweat, it's the toxins trying to be pushed out of your body, so.
Speaking of dab sweat, I got my Dabber, Robert Dabber Clark swag on today. The dab hat.
Same.
Steve-O does too.
I got the Brooklyn boys represented tonight too.
Nice.
My bar kind of gets in the way of my green screen, so I had to change. I couldn't do that. The people in the boxes like picture frames. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I need to spend some time and make something separate that kind of makes sense here with the bar. I like showing the bar top though, like just because, I get to see all the little goodies I got going on up here and my rig and whatnot. Ashley says cortisol and adrenaline are released when scared. Adrenaline is the action hormone, alerts your hypothalamus, which sends the message to your adrenaline gland, which causes your heart to race and pump more blood to your muscles.
Wow.
Oh, cheers, Ashley. Thank you for that. Appreciate that.
Well, it sounds like she might have read that somewhere for sure, huh?
I almost would say she probably went to school for that.
You think? You think she might know a little?
Or she said, Alexa, what does this mean?
Yeah.
And Alexa told her. And she just started typing.
Good one,
I've caught in... Cotton is not the right word. I've got a couple kids using Alexa to do their homework. So
really,
it's real.
I can see that. Well, like there are websites where they can
help my son.
What's that?
I didn't know the answer. I would Google it. Or for algebra, I'd be watching YouTube videos to try and help him.
Yeah, that's what Valerie said, basically. Yeah.
What I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
By the way, Valerie, thank you for that PayPal donation. Appreciate that. I've been giving quite a bit away just because I feel like it's better than spending money to boost the post through Facebook. Facebook can guarantee 400 new eyes to look at it, but like who? Like who? And this way, we're having people through basically word of mouth share and send things out, because that means that people who know and trust you, who you might send it to, are going to look at it with a little more, more thought than just like, oh, Facebook recommended something else. That's my thought. That's why you sweat. Well, I mean, I sweat sometimes for no reason. I don't know about you guys. I'll be sitting here and what the hell? I don't know if it's because I'm afraid or because I'm thinking about something, or like your heart rate goes up for things that aren't just fear too.
Anxious.
So I guess, the anxiety I think is a big.
Well, there'll be times that I'll be sitting there, the room temperature doesn't change, and I don't think my mood or anything does either, but it'll just happen. I think that's more spirituality, or is that I don't know.
Oh. You can only determine your own spirituality, but I would say that it could be a combination of a lot of things, because, our brain can tap into a whole lot more than we realize. And I think that, there's things that go on around us that, we may not know will physically affect us, and in what ways too, But that's interesting that you go through that, Jason, man. That must really suck sometimes.
Oh, it happened on live the other day. It was crazy. Literally, my whole body went into almost. It was like a ghost went through my whole body. It was crazy, and to rewatch it was just very interesting to watch on live, and then to rewatch it again.
Speaking of, they're remaking the movie Ghost. Did you guys hear about that?
The body temperature, everything changed.
Maybe it's the strain of weed sometimes. Who knows? But never
Possible.
know. But
It's
not if
possible.
you're smoking the same thing over and over again, and all of a sudden you get it today, but you didn't get it yesterday. You
Right.
know, I see what you mean.
See, Valerie was there. Valerie saw it. Like, it was fucking crazy.
Oh
Crazy.
wow!
My whole body just. Yeah.
I can tell you though,
Alright.
when we talked about how some fear is temporary, but like when you live under fear every day for different reasons, you know, like say like abusive relationship, or like with me even, I have this inevitability with my pup, with my old man, you know, that is going to be happening at some point, and it's like that's a constant anxiety. I don't know if I would say a fear, but I guess expectation and anxiety, all those things wrapped in one, you know. And it's like I'm living with it every day, just expecting it any minute, you know. And it starts to become overwhelming. But for me, I know death is a part of life, you know, but that doesn't make it any easier to
Grasp.
you know.
Yep.
Nonstop.
Yeah, that was one of the quotes the other day. What we have on, we have quote of the day on one of the other pages that we're on. And it was, if we were told from day one that we are going to die, would we live our life different?
You mean like as a small child, like explained?
Right.
Explained
as, you know, like you literally have 100 years maximum. You know, you look at it, if we're lucky, we got 75 years for the best of us.
Yeah, and if you live your life too carefully, then you end up harming yourself in other ways. Like
Exactly.
there are ways like being too germ free.
And is that where a fear starts and a phobia starts? If you know that you're going to die no matter what, live your life to the fullest. Live that dash. You know, like Melanie has come to teach many of us. She says it a lot. It's become a major, major saying to a lot of us. On your tombstone, you have a birth date, a dash line, and then a death date. You know, you have to learn to live that dash. Live in between that birth date and that death date. Don't be confined by your fears, by, you know, your phobias, by your emotions. So,
Yeah,
live your life.
I like to be logical, but at the same time, I think people want to see that you have emotion. And I've been accused, you know, a couple of relationships. I've been accused of not having emotion because I don't, you know, how do I put it? Like some of the same things don't trigger me within an argument or something. Like I don't feed back and just like get more emotional because I know that's what hurts the conversation. You can't really have any sort of a real legitimate resolve to like a conflict if both people just keep getting more emotional and then you just end up getting physical, you know.
You gotta be you and live every day like the last, and you gotta communicate because other people don't know how you're feeling or what you're thinking.
Emotions keep you from communicating, in my opinion. It's hard to communicate when you get emotional.
That I've just became an ambassador for. It's called Reaper Clothing, and one of their statements on one of their clothes is, was it dying to live, and it has a coffin with a reaper inside of it, basically stating that's all you're doing is you're dying to live. If you're not living life, then you're just dying.
Live like you were dying. What's that country song? It's like live like you were dying, and then it's like live every day like it's your last, but plan like you're gonna live forever. That's another saying. Hi, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Come on up. If anybody has any stories or any thoughts or feelings on the emotions of fear and what things play in that. Because
Well, let's go to it a little bit different. Emotions of fear, skydiving, roller coasters, cruise lines, being on a big ship in the middle of an ocean. What kind of fear? Like, them are fears of some people. Like, I'm not going to go on certain people. I won't go on a cruise ship. I won't jump out of a plane. I can't go on a roller coaster because of Final Destination movies.
That's the interstate. Some people don't want to drive on the interstate because of
how
insane it is and how people are going so fast. And
yeah, so
does
if you
anyone
touch
have
on
the
them
irrational
too.
fear of holes?
Irrational fear of what?
Holes.
Holes. Like,
I feel like there's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm going to leave it alone.
I was wondering if what. I was like, I can't see Keijo's face right now. I really wish I could.
I think it is on a shirt, isn't it?
It's a potato face today because I've been sick, so I didn't do any makeup, so I'm hiding. But I'm still here.
It's
like
this is part of the
triggers
sip.
my body into weird heebie-jeebies. Just staring at this. And this is, we look at it every day. Well, if you burn flour. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Hi, Miss Charlene.
Like, I have goosebumps just looking at it just for the few seconds that I looked at it.
Bye, Miss Charlene.
This right here can be scary to some people. The final frontier, like the vacuum, the vastness, thinking about how far away other planets are, just like, and it's not really a fear that has anything to do with your existence, but it's just like, oh wow, what is
like
that?
Like open
out there?
ocean. A lot of people who can't swim in the open ocean but can go in a pool.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, to answer that question earlier, I almost drowned once, and I don't fear water. Like, I'm actually I as a kid I always loved to swim even after I almost drowned. I don't know if Miss Charlene's coming back to share with us.
I think, we kind of touched on it a little bit, Waylon. I think it was mentioned, but we should say what maybe we feel our biggest fear is. I truly, Steve-O hit on that topic hit on mine right off the bat. My fear is not truly dying alone, but being alone. I am a people person. I need people around me. I strive off of other people's energy. I'm an empath, so when I go into a dark, deep depression, it really scares me because of me trying, that's not me, so my biggest fear is dying alone or ending up being alone for the rest of my life, one way or another. Solitary confinement, I don't do well in, I definitely would not do good in jail being by myself all the time or whatever,
Yeah, isolation can be very weird because especially without a phone, without internet, and I've had that in the military. Let's give Charlene a chance to share. Thank you for coming up, Charlene. I saw you had a message.
Yeah, I have. What is the difference between fear and a phobia? Fear is a normal reaction to a threat, while phobia leads to fear response, even when you're not in danger. So you're having fear both times. Your phobia turns to fear, and fear is a threat.
I see. So we were originally thinking that fear is in both, but phobia is just an irrational fear. But you're saying that phobia leads to the fear that generally causes a phobia. Huh.
Here, Valerie says that there are healthy fears also. What would we consider a healthy fear?
Well, anything in nature as far as fearing a predator or fearing
fire, staying away from fire,
Like my son
Fearing
don't have
pain.
no fear, and that's a big thing with autism. No danger.
Mine too, and he does have fear if Daddy has to go to 11.
Like he would walk right out in front of a car and just not even.
Yeah, he would just run and
goodness.
talk and touch adults randomly, like as he's going through a crowd and stuff. It's not good.
Yeah, my son ran up and hugged a stranger before, and she was like,
Drew
"Oh,
says
it's okay."
my-
I'm like, oh, it's really not.
I've done that too. Elisa. Don't worry.
Well, let's see what we got. Kim says emotions can be tricky. Too much is harmful, but so is too little. Recognize the emotions, but don't let it control you. Yeah, no, I agree with that because you can't be too logical too. You gotta. I think you gotta use both. I mean, we're made with both for a reason. And
Right.
that's why machines can't fully take over what humans do, because machines can't feel. And there's a lot of decisions that we make with our gut and with our, with our feelings. And maybe we shouldn't. I tend to be more on the logical side. But I like to talk. I don't mind discussing my feelings. I think if you're a logical person, you can use logic to discuss feelings. Does that make sense? I mean, that's what I'm doing right now, right? Because I like to extrapolate and analyze anything, really. I didn't say analyze, Steve-O. I said analyze.
Tiff says in the lockdown there was a lot of solitary confinement. People, were alone and stuff like that. Fortunately, I didn't have to deal with that because I was still able to go to work every single day. But a lot of people did, and that caused a big depression with people too. And a lot of people are scared that that could happen again.
So, Ima brings up a good point. More than one person has talked about, like what Kim here says, with danger. That's the reason we have fear to, keep us safe. But to Ima's point, courage is the act of doing something because you know it's right, even though there is a fear response, even though you are going to be afraid as hell, like running into that burning building, trying to lift that car off of that kid or something. Any of those things where you're like, I'm afraid of all sorts of things with this situation, but I'm going to do it anyway because, I have the courage to do what's right. So that is a good point, Ima, because courage is overcoming fear. Bravery, I guess.
Let's stop right there. You said the courage to do what's right.
Or at least what you think is right.
Okay.
Yeah, because think about like a bad guy, like say like a dictator, right?
Yep.
A dictator thinks he's doing what's right, even though he knows he's going to make enemies or whatever. So it's sort of a similar situation. Like you have the conviction to continue doing what you're doing, but I guess courage probably has more specific definition. That's just
like giving somebody CPR.
Yeah.
You're scared that they're not gonna make it, and you're
Right.
fearing this, but you're pumping away at it anyway.
I think Ima hits it on the nail right there. It's taking control of the fear and acting upon it. Because you might still be scared. You're still gonna run into that burn. You might be scared about running in that building. You might, I'll take a bullet for somebody. I'm scared about it. I'm ready to die when I die, but there's still going to be fear that, damn it, I was just shot. Fuck. You know what I mean? So, but it would still happen. I'm scared when I'm driving, but I still do it.
Yeah, I think he did hit the nail on the head, unless he looked it up before I did. But yeah, the ability to do something that frightens one. Strength in the face of pain or grief. Yes, I do definitely like that connection because I wanted to discuss things that are connected. Obviously, all emotions are probably connected to all other emotions. Like they're all sort of inextricably linked in a sort of more than one way. Private chat. Oh, okay.
And we probably don't all feel the same emotion the same way.
Oh, no, not at all. Every single one of us are 100% different.
Well, right. And I think, like I said before, that it's funny that we all have the same ability to feel each one of these emotions, although we could argue things like sociopaths and things. There are people that have certain emotions they don't feel. But for the most part, in general, we have these certain number of emotions, but they all are affected differently, because even somebody who is twisted or messed up in the head might feel the emotions, but for like really like the wrong reasons, like super weird or unusual reasons. They might feel happiness or fear, like they fear that something doesn't go just the way they want it to go or whatever. There's plenty of that even for those that have unusual.
Yeah, but some people don't feel empathy for other people. Some do.
Some people don't have certain emotions. It's with Kim here saying prioritizing morals.
That's true.
Some people's morals might not be other people's morals. People were raised totally different. Gender is a big one. Male and females, they have different says in different things. Races, age generation gaps, so.
Tiff, did you have a near-death experience? Because
that's wrecked a Harley.
Yeah, and it says woke up, had to relearn everything. Stephanie had a similar story for us recently, but we should have. We can't really have near-death experiences as a topic because these are supposed to be topics everybody is connected to. But it would be cool to have to talk about those at some point.
I think that would have been more with spirits, ghosts.
True. Yeah. Did a lot of.
We had a good one with that.
I was afraid in the past. Yeah. But yeah, I mean that's what the fear can be debilitating. Even, and it's not a phobia if you're just afraid of
Crystal.
All sorts of things, afraid of failing, afraid of and I think it's not quite irrational. It's just that it could still be debilitating. Hello, Crystal Lee. Bobby Young is watching with you. Okay.
Straight up says, I died. Tiff, very that's good. Crazy. I want to know who you are.
Yeah.
I want to know who you are. I'm like, that's... I don't care about the plug situation, that shit. We've all done that. I just want to know who you are because your story is interesting.
On the other side of the computer, it's Tiff in a library. It's actually Casper the Ghost sitting at that library computer, chilling. Hey. Okay, cool. Yeah.
PTSD and depression. We had that episode too. That was a good one. I'm Justy Standy.
Right.
Okay.
Give yourself whatever trailblazer for progressive things that every person in the past that caused positive change had to stand up and have courage. Yeah, I agree. This is a little bit off topic, but like with the space background, I've already thought that if I was given the opportunity to hop on, one of these rocket ships going to like Mars or something, say, they told me they're gonna, set my family up well, and they're gonna ask me, like, I would be real tempted to take that trip, knowing that most certainly I would die, because guess what? When any sort of new trails are blazed, a lot of human life ends up, being the cost. So knowing that, I would probably still take that trip, because I know that you have to have probably so many deaths before we have a simple way to get back and forth, or a good solid method and stuff. So it's like a conversation I had previously with myself about fear. It's like, yeah, I think I would do it, knowing I probably wouldn't come back.
Oh, Drew, there we go.
Do you think the common person fears more, the actual act they are doing, or the way others may judge them based on how they do it? Well, we are usually our own worst critics, but I think we fear being caught more than we fear doing something.
Even without being caught, I fear, I guess it's a internal thing.
Hi, John. What
are others going to think? We say it a lot, Waylon. I mean, especially as content creators, as influencers, we base ourselves on what others going to think, our background, our microphone, what we're wearing, every single, and what if they don't like it?
Right.
Our likes. What if they don't like it? What if they don't hit that like button? What if they don't hit that share button? every single day. Every single episode. We do 3 shows a day, 4 shows a day.
This
Devo,
right here scares
I
me.
remember when you didn't have a background. You know, right? You look naked. I remember when we didn't have backgrounds. You know, when it didn't have this, didn't have that. And look at us. People want to see this. They don't want to look at my regular wall. We're scared that they're not going to watch us. Right?
Right. Like I gotta do constantly. And honestly, there's probably people out there who might think, and that's, you know, that could be a separate fear. Like, well, they think I'm doing too much. They think I'm just trying too hard or whatever. And honestly, most of everything I do is because I like it. I enjoy it. I've been having fun with all the backgrounds and changing things up and all that. And I also know in my head that this business, and I'm not a experienced, you know, showbiz person, but I know this business requires you to change over time and add and adapt and evolve. And, you know, I know there's going to be some differences and some changes. And hi, Melanie.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Melanie.
Hi.
Hi, I'm late.
That's okay.
Or am I right on time?
Either way, yeah. Yeah, I'll put the space back out there. I like that. I was gonna make a joke, and one of the fears that I have, and I put my hands in here, and one of the fears that I have is that my head is just gonna float away.
Thank you.
Fucking Waylon, always gotta add something.
Well, and that's one thing that we could talk about, the fear between the fact that we know you're actually more likely to die in a car than an airplane, but yet we still fear flying a lot more often than we fear driving. And even though it's irrational, but it's not necessarily a phobia. I mean, I guess there are definitely phobias of flight.
I fear the airport more than I fear the actual flight. Once I'm on the plane, I'm good. I'm good. Once I'm in that plane, walking through walking through the tunnel, I'm perfect. Everything goes right away. But the airport is my anxiety. It is sweating. It's, oh my God.
Yeah, and I was gonna say too that the absence of fear is scary. Like when I was overseas, at a certain point, I was numbed to the point where it didn't matter anymore. I was like, yeah, you know, it could be any minute. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Like it didn't. You know, I got to I don't know if it wasn't a depression. Like I was upset. It was more like a loss of control, loss of fear, loss of, you know, sort of like giving into the, well, if it happens, it happens, you know, like whenever we would have like a siren because the base was being mortared, attacked and stuff, we were supposed to get on our gear and run outside and get into these barricades. And we would just most of the time we would just roll over, look around, step outside, maybe peek our head out, and then go back to bed. You know, like you got to the point where none of that stuff scared you anymore. And that's not a good thing, you know, when you start to become numb from life threatening fear, you know.
Yeah, I've actually a lot of veterans have become numb, you know, and that scares them in a way. It scares their family in a way too, if you think about that, because of what they've seen overseas, what they've seen in the wars, what they've had to do. You know, they become to certain life situations. So that is kind of definitely scary, Waylon, when you mention it like that.
Google the journey of Jesse Sandy. Is that your name, Tiff?
Yeah,
I heard you.
Farther up.
Okay, I don't want to. You saw it elsewhere. That's cool.
Yep,
okay.
It was farther up.
Sometimes I'm numb to my fears, knowing that really some things are out of my control and I can't help anything that's going to happen anyway. It's like you can't do nothing about it. So
I think as parents too, we become numb to certain fears, like you said earlier, with because of our kids. It doesn't matter that we'll move mountains for them. So it doesn't matter if we're scared or have a phobia of certain situations. When it comes to our kid, all things go out the window no matter what.
So Crystal says, off topic, it's going to be negative 40 degrees Celsius here tomorrow. Send warmth and blankets. That's a fear too, though, Crystal. You know, power outages at a time like that.
Sure, the freaking
You know, yeah. So definitely be thinking about you. Hopefully we can send you warm thoughts. But yeah, no, that's
Not
no
too
joke
warm.
for sure. Hey, not too much friction.
So what do you got, Mel? What are some of your fears?
Oh, no.
No?
No, I wasn't ready for that.
Okay. Well, hi, good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, Drew, I'm with you on that one. Drew's got a few new logos. Looking good, Drew. Melanie, how you feeling after that nap? Any different?
I'm okay.
She's still sleeping.
I fear a lot of things, but I don't know like where we are in the. I missed the show.
It's all good, Ricky. Appreciate you stopping through, man. Get those shares up. Listen, we got 25 likes, you guys. That is amazing.
What do you
I
fear
appreciate
the
that.
most, Melanie?
Oh.
I keep going in and out. I don't know why.
I said, what do you fear the most?
She's like, really?
Most of my fears, I would call them phobias, and I don't know if we've talked about them. Like most of my fears are, a lot of them are like irrational. You know, fuck. Okay, so I have agoraphobia, and sometimes just going outside can be really, really scary. Which it's not like opening my door is gonna hurt me, but in my mind, it's like everything outside that's ever happened bad is gonna happen again.
My cousin
Anybody?
like that. When she goes to the grocery store, her anxiety is so bad that she just fears it.
Yeah, I don't go to grocery stores. I order them because I can't go in a grocery store.
So I don't
know.
So
A lot.
with agoraphobia, you're saying you can't go outside. Can you go in your fenced-in backyard? How does that? Is that fine because it's still your property? It's still fenced in. It's
Most of the time, I'm okay.
okay out there.
Most of the
stuff.
time, I'm okay. It's something about that front door, and it's not like once I get outside, I'm like this shaking little puppy dog because I'm so afraid. It's
right.
Like a nagging.
It's the more of getting out. That's the part with me. Once I'm out, I'm already out, and I got to deal with what's happening. It's the getting out part for me.
Kids definitely multiply fear by 1,000, Ricky. We were saying that a little bit ago. It's our kids. A lot of times, I don't have any kids of my own, but I did have a stepson for a while, and when kids came into my life, that's when I became emotional. Before then, I don't remember crying. I don't remember being scared of really anything. And then all of a sudden, younger children come into the life, and it was like, I got to live for this. I can't do this, and I got to do that, and I got to make sure they're okay and everything else. So definitely is a huge fear one.
Yeah, I was pretty happy-go-lucky with even my first kid. He was so easy, and he was so responsible and just did everything himself. But then with Dill, just came a bunch of emotions. And
I do.
Very needy.
Yeah.
He sucks the life out of me.
Oh yeah, Crystal, 100% of the kids in the life of the society they're growing up in, yeah, it's scary. It's scary. Definitely, that's definitely scary and a fear.
Oh, I feared every time my son got on the school bus.
Well,
Luckily, he's
even
20 now, and he doesn't have to, but it was scary to me. I didn't know what was going to happen at high school that day.
Well, we were even the show that we were doing earlier. The three of us were on there together. Waylon was on there too, and we're scared for every day on what our kids are doing. Every single day, whether they are 5 years old, 6 years old, 40 years old. I'm 41 years old, and I know my mom still worries about me every single day. You know, not a day goes by that she don't have a worry about me. So, kids are a big one.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about like artificial emotions? So like video games, where like, oh, I'm
I
afraid
thought
of
you were
that.
gonna ask for artificial children. I was like,
I think
Well,
they're
maybe. Like, oh, you know,
artificial.
I'm afraid I'm gonna die. My character's gonna die. You know, like you actually. There are some games that are realistic enough that you actually have real emotion, like your heart drops.
like
from
VR and
certain
stuff.
things. Well, not even just that. I mean, first-person shooters and things. And there's things.
Are we
where,
talking
like,
about our Gigapet that we had? Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys.
Wow, we're not old.
Very nice, old man.
Oh, wait,
Listen-
let's go
listen,
before that.
Mark.
How about the Furbies? I still got a couple of them that still talk.
You probably do.
It's
Stop
when.
it.
Do we want to go before that though?
So small.
All of
Teddy
our other
Ruxpin?
ones killed themselves.
Teddy Rupskin was alive, you guys.
Well,
The
all I'm
bear
saying
talk.
is back then, bro, your fear or your like children are playing with real fear, like real adrenaline, racing those bikes up and jumping ramps and climbing trees, you know, like, and obviously we're talking like old people here, but it's like now there's all these like sort of artificial emotions happening with the way they manipulate us with music and just the way that the video is done on commercials and everything. Like you're getting real emotion being like artificially implanted in you and stuff. It's crazy.
Let's go with Josh here. Josh got I like this statement here.
Yeah, me
I have
too.
a fear of not reaching my true purpose before I die. That's huge, Josh.
Yeah,
that's a
mine.
big one.
It just
A
feels
lot
like
of
I'm
people
spinning my
feel
wheels.
that way. Yeah.
Is there any other like? And see, I read that statement. I'm like, is there any other way? Like,
Right. It's,
How else
Because
could we
I
be,
don't
like-
know. I really don't know how. And there's so many of us that feel that way. And when do we realize what our true potential actually is? Our true
not
purpose
potential.
actually is.
Yeah,
True
not
purpose.
potential purpose. Yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
Because this could be our true purpose.
True purpose.
What we
is
are doing
live
right
the
now,
present.
what you are doing
Live
right
every
at this
day
very
like the
second.
last, and be happy because it's a short ride and it'll be over before we know it.
Yeah.
Like
You
I'm
know-
almost 40 the 18th of this month, and I just be like, damn, I might not make it another 40 years. So
Well, and that's what we said earlier. You know, Melanie wasn't here yet, but we were talking about the live your dash. Live your dash, you know, and that will give you your true purpose. I truly believe so.
yeah.
So,
The fear of noticing you're out of TP and not wearing socks, Drew said. Where do you shit that it's
Yeah,
scary that you have to
problems.
walk to get TP without socks? Are you in the outhouse?
and Charlene says, healthy or not, we worry. As parents, definitely. We definitely worry as parents. You know, it's. I want to give a quick shout out, guys. There's 19 people in the building. If you can give a thumbs up, a heart, a angry face, a sad face, give us something.
I like to do.
Give us something. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. And at the bottom of the screen there, you'll see a green bar. It's got all of our group names, family names, Facebook names. Give us all a like, a share, a follow. Elisa May, you still got Elisa Love going?
I do, but I don't know.
You do, but you don't know?
Give
What
up.
about
I know
Dill's
that
World?
feeling.
Still got Dill's World going?
Yep, it's still there. Yep.
I'm trying to
Nice
give me
shout out,
something, woman.
Lisa. Wow.
Come
I know about me and my son and our story. It is Dill's World, Kelly. And I'm Lisa Love on Facebook, but I really don't do a bunch of shit that come up from bullshit.
Steve-O, you back there?
That's
What you
how I describe
gonna?
items that are on the Waffle House. I'm like, so it works. It's nice. It's shiny. What the fuck?
All good, Steve-O?
Oh yeah, I was just making sure the dinner didn't get cold.
Oh, she just gave
Oh,
him.
Kelly's
she
there's
fell
okay. I was like, wait a minute here, what's going on?
I needed 3 minutes just to mac the hell out of that bowl.
Nice. Needed that energy there.
I just
Needed
okay.
that energy.
And the kid is back and he's energized.
Oh boy.
Now you
Show's
can't.
on again.
Now you can't.
There's that wonderful Rose.
Okay, well, I'm out of here, people. My biggest
All right,
fear is
Elisa,
that
great
when I
seeing you,
leave
honey.
the world, that I
Wait.
will leave behind my nonverbal autistic son, and nobody will care for him like me.
That is a valid fear, love. Mine's
I
20,
agree.
and I had that same fear.
And
I
now I'm
mean-
about to go fear this French toast. I'm about to go cook myself.
We'll see you a little bit later. Bye, Lisa.
Bye.
That's
got
a
some
real
dog
fear,
walker,
though, when you
Skittles,
talk about
joints,
children.
Zebra cake flour. Nice, Rob. So, Rose says, I have a fear of my hands giving out and not being able to make jewelry anymore. Wow.
I don't see Rose, but hi, Rose. Yeah, that's a fear of not being able to do your. My eyesight's going, you guys, like faster than I'd like to admit it, and that scares the shit out of me.
That scares me too. The loss or the you know the slow loss, but at the same time though, like I've heard of so many like cool ways to put it, and one of those ways is like you get the privilege of growing old. You know,
Yeah.
like not everyone gets that, and you know those of us who do, it's like, hey, cherish the parts that you have while you got them. You know,
I'm already
it's easy
half
to say that,
broken.
right?
I don't know that like
What's up, Rose?
arthritis is a killer for us who don't work with, or who work with our hands. Yeah, Kelly.
I don't know about the. Ooh, wow.
How about
Rob's-
women that use you and try to put you in prison?
Yeah, that's
Damn.
what I was reading.
Where the hell is it?
Damn, Rob.
That's where I was reading. I went, ooh, okay. I'll let Jason handle it.
That is not on the page I'm reading. Is that YouTube, you guys?
That's like a Jason. Oh, you were talking to Jason, were you? Okay.
I mean, that's a valid fear if it's happened to you plenty of times.
I mean,
I'm not gonna get into that.
I haven't
though.
been used and tried to be, but I've had it happen in two different situations. I tried to be put in prison by somebody and been used by somebody else.
Well,
So put them together, and damn, that sucks, Rob.
that makes sense though. I mean, that is a.
Oh, Crystal, that's really nice of you.
Some people who have had issues in relationships, they fear getting in another relationship. That becomes a fear, right? You just like, well, I don't know, it's just going to happen again, right?
I
That is
mean,
a killer for us.
over 9 years for me since my husband passed, and Jason moving here scares the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie, scares the shit out of me.
Hi,
Yeah.
Stephanie.
That was my wife comment. And she said she tells me all the time how she's worried that at some point
good.
she's not going to be able to hold these trays up anymore.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Not everybody wants to move to the step of, okay, now I'm going to manage a big group of people, like, or whatever. Like some people like doing the work, working with their hands.
Yeah.
Oh, my wife loves her job. She loves the people and all that kind of stuff. But being a waitress is so very fast paced.
Yeah. Her
and
wrists are gonna go eventually.
Mhm.
That'll be the carpal tunnel, and
She has
Yeah.
all that. She's got arthritis that you wouldn't believe in her hands.
I mean, and people don't realize the varicose veins too that
Yeah.
can come up from just being a waitress.
Maui,
Not
I
just
think
from
we're
being a
on
waitress.
3 different pages.
You said
We're on the YouTube channel, and I'm on my profile and my page. So if you guys would like to consolidate, I prefer we all consolidate on the page. On
Definitely.
Waylon the Indoor Farmer. The reason I'm on both is it's just more visibility, easier to find. I got over 3,100 followers on my profile, and I don't even need or worry about that number. But of course, that's why the number just keeps going up now, right? It's like, oh, great. You know, like it doesn't really do much. Oh, okay. She was
Yeah,
looking-
Maui, I
bet-
think I'm on that page with you. I don't know. It shows 13. I don't know if that means on this page or all
got 18.
together. Yeah, so there's a few people on other pages right now.
Yeah.
Just got two.
Ricky's got a big one right here.
Oh yeah.
That was a huge. Wrong page, Melanie.
You said it. Go on.
This was a big fear of mine for a long time. Now I think I have overcome that because of just certain circumstances, but being homeless, you know, that was a huge fear of mine.
Oh,
now
yeah.
it's, I guess if I had I look at it as a different way. If I have a car, I'm not homeless. But if you don't have a car, you don't have a home, you don't have anything, that's a huge fear.
Yeah.
So.
And another thing that people don't realize that a lot of us walk around with is, if you know, you know, but if you've ever had your freedom taken away from you, and if you've ever had to be left alone in solitary and things of that sort, I mean, that is something that'll follow you and give you nightmares the rest of your life.
It'll follow you forever.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a lot of people walk around and have dealt with that in their younger days, and then in their older days, they're still dealing with it.
Right, Ricky.
I mean, did we talk about abandonment?
Oh.
You know, the fear of abandonment
I don't think we've touched that one yet.
That's huge, especially
wow.
in relationships
feeling,
and kids and adults. And
wow.
I mean, depending on, you know, that, and that I will say is, some people who refuse to be in a relationship, that's why. They don't want to be abandoned, so they will drop the other person first.
Well, we did talk about, you know, being afraid of being left alone, and especially, you know, when you die and things.
Being alone.
Yeah, being alone. We touched on that, but abandonment, man. Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, look at orphans. You know.
Yeah.
Not even orphans. Mother was never there when I was there, so I was abandoned my childhood that I had, you know, when it came to that. So yeah, I had a parent there and still felt it.
Right. Rosa's one of not truly being loved. You know, that's a huge one for people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like Crystal says, leaving an abusive relationship is fucking, I've been there. That's scary.
Hi, Kim.
You think no one else will want you?
Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Kim.
Hi, ladies.
Hello. Wanted to dive in on this a little bit. Earlier tonight, I had on a guest on my show, Your Eye, and a shaman on that utilizes natural therapy. He's iboga, and he treats people for like PTSD, depression, that kind of shit with iboga. And we were talking about this actual subject tonight, and when I heard you guys getting into it, I thought I'd dive in. But
really?
I gotta do a bomb.
Interesting.
Yeah,
do tell.
Cheers. I'm gonna do a dab here with
I need a dab. Hang on. So, I've been on my own spiritual and psychedelic journey to rid myself of PTSD and anxiety and depression and shit that I've suffered from since I was a kid. And we dove into that, and it's like, well, I feel a lot better, and I'm doing way better now than I ever have been. But I still got work to do, and I know I still have work to do. And we talked about that a little bit. And he asked me a little bit about my childhood. And he said, well, what happened to you? And I said, well, you know, usual shit. It's my dad split when I was 1, and then, you know, fucking turmoil for, 15 years or whatever, right? All over the map, living in 15 houses in 15 years and that kind of shit. So it's his view that a lot of people that suffer from these sort of issues today with, trust and anxiety and shit, and dealing with people and that, agoraphobia, all that. A lot of the times it comes from something that's imprinted on us in our infancy that we may be even unaware of.
I believe that.
So, I mean, for me, it could be a lot of my issues are self-doubt. right? I mean, I'm capable, I'm educated, I have a university education, but I doubt myself constantly. But nobody even notices it because I talk with such authority. But meanwhile, in my own head, it's like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And then I have this internal argument. Yeah, you're fucking sure. You know that shit. What are you fucking questioning yourself for? Of course that's right. You know that
That's
shit.
the
And this whole
attitude.
fight is going on inside the head while I sound like educated, like I know what I'm talking about, and I'm still fucking having this argument with myself,
Isn't
right?
that natural though?
With 7 of yourselves. There's 7 different voices going on, arguing with each other, just pulling the lever, and it's a bar fight. You
My
know?
inner self
Yeah.
is mean as fuck. My inner self will tell me I'm dumb, I'm stupid. You know, even though I know what I'm talking about. Like it
So
could
all
be
this
talking
shit's
about
imprinted.
myself, and I'm still like,
it's
am I
imprinted from
right?
childhood. Yeah, childhood. Something happened in your childhood to make you go. There was a moment in your life. It could have been an insignificant thing to anybody else looking at it, but for whatever reason, that imprints on you in your childhood, right back to like infancy, even before you can even have a memory of that event. And it's imprinted on you, and that'll cause you to doubt things. And then that carries through your entire life. And it can map out your life for you if you don't recognize it. It was a really interesting conversation.
When I was growing up, Mother always, everybody's blaming their parents. You know, that was her biggest bitch about everything on TV that she saw. And it's like, well, maybe they have a point. Maybe how we treat our children matters.
But my kids could say that about me too, right? Because as parents, when we're parents, we've never been parents before.
Right.
First time you're a parent, you've never been a parent before. This is all new fucking ground. We're winging it. We're doing the best we can with the information we have at that time. I mean, I have my oldest is 38 years old. And I look back at some of the things that I thought were the right thing to do 38 years ago. And I look back at them now and go, oh, fuck no.
but there's several
Right?
reasons. Like you're still new when you have your second kid because you've never had 2 kids
Every
before.
kid's
You've never
different.
had but you've never had 2 kids. You've never had an older kid and a younger kid. You've never had any of that before. Even when you've had your third kid, you've never had 3 kids before, and that's a difference between 2 kids, right? And so, and then on top of that, you add societal changes because we thought things were different. We thought it was okay, no seatbelts, standing up in the back, and all those things, right? And so it's not necessarily our fault, but we do beat ourselves up
The
about
information.
it.
Yeah,
We
the
beat
information
ourselves
you have at the time. That's
Right.
That's what
That's
we
what I
have
was
to
just
deal
saying.
with.
Information changes, so.
Yeah. You know, so blame the parents? I don't know. Maybe in some situations, but I think the majority of the time for most of us, our parents out there are doing the best they can with the information that they have.
I meant more like anything like abandonment issues or anything like that. Mother would always say, you know, oh, get over it. You know, that was when you were a kid, stuff like that. She's not that person that believes in mental health.
That's
that believes
the time
in
that she
shit
grew up
can
in.
happen.
My mom was the same. Yeah. Oh, give yourself a shake. Oh, what do you need that for? Oh, just stand up for Christ's sake. You'll be all right. Shake it off.
Shake it off. Yeah.
That's the times that they grew up in. That's the way they were raised. That's the information they have.
Well, look at what they did for mental health and special needs at that time.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what they did.
Lobotomy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, interesting shit for sure.
I want to push back a little bit, Kim, if I may, with some of these thoughts of maybe this was an imprint from childhood. Where is it that you, I guess a question instead, where is it that you would differentiate a natural instinct or a natural response? Like I think most of us are critical in our own head. That's our conscience saying, you know, I know you're doing so I don't know if it's necessarily something that happened that was a negative impact, but maybe a normal development of human, you know, consciousness. We start to have that inner voice that starts to be our biggest critic because we can't shut that one off. We
Yeah,
can
absolutely,
walk away from
absolutely.
everybody else. But
Yeah,
to your point, maybe
absolutely.
the ones that are unhealthy, like say Melanie, where she's very negative about herself in her head. I think in your head you should be critical, but maybe not in a "I hate you" kind of way to yourself.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, this is it. There's a
Mhm.
fine line there, right? I mean, our instincts are what keeps us safe. When something
Right.
inside you goes, "Oh, don't do that," there's a reason for that. We're not supposed to dismiss that. We're supposed to evaluate it, and then we have to decide, is it worth the risk for what we want to achieve in the end if we do it? Is it worth the risk? Or is it something I have to do because I need to stand up for it in all good conscience? Do I believe it's the right thing to do, even if it's going to hurt me, perhaps? Is that, again, worth the risk?
Correct.
And these are all things that we have to evaluate and decide for ourselves whether or not we want to do them at the end of the day. But the fear factor that's there inside of us, that's instinct telling you need to look at that shit before you make a decision. With fear is a good thing. We wouldn't have survived without it. It's what told us not to go and pat the dinosaur.
You see what
right?
Ricky said there? Kim Ricky says, "I feared mushrooms until Kim talked me off the ledge. Now I'm all good. Now I'm all in."
Yeah,
He said. Stephanie, hello. I want to give you time. I know it's hard for you to. I want to tell you a little trick, Stephanie, of us streamers. If you start to make a noise and then stop, I'll hear that. If it like for me, I don't know about you guys, but for the most part, if somebody starts to chime in, but they stop because they realize they were stepping on someone, the host, or at least myself, I'll hear it and then I'll wait for a moment to say, "Oh, Stephanie had something to say." You know what I'm saying? And that's usually the best etiquette that I've come across. You gotta, if I hear that you got something because you started to speak, then I'll make sure I get you in there. So don't be afraid to chime in.
Talk over me.
Kim has multiple shows all around, so she
You
could
need to
definitely
talk
do that.
over my ass.
What are you doing
Sometimes
there,
me too.
Red Kelly? Steve-O's setting up his wife. Okay, wife's coming in. All right, sounds good. But we're gonna give Stephanie a minute here. Stephanie, how you doing tonight? We have no audio from you. Maybe that's why I didn't hear you chiming in. I don't see that she's muted or anything. Nope, nothing. Did anyone else hear her?
No.
Didn't she have this issue last time?
She did. Go into your settings.
Yeah, it was something, and she got it
Yeah,
fixed.
headphones maybe. One of the
Are you
two.
connected to your Bluetooth somewhere?
It's in your settings. I'm unmuting you now, but you're muted.
I agree, Ricky.
It's funny.
Fear is a weapon. Fear definitely can be weaponized.
Crystal says the brain immediately goes to negative. I agree.
Mhm.
I agree 100
My therapist-
wholeheartedly.
I disagree.
My therapist looked at me and she goes, "Would you say those things?" Because I'll tell her what I say, and she goes, "Would you say those things to your friend?" And I was like, "That'd be fucked up." And then I stopped and I was like, "Am I a hypocrite? Wait, what?" She confused me for a second because
I think you can
we
train
should be a
yourself
friend of
not
ourselves.
Okay,
Yes.
so what about with text though, Waylon?
You can work
Because
on
if we read a text a certain way, automatically, I feel that we will read it into a negative way than a positive. Like, oh, what are they saying? Why are they
I
putting
think-
it that way?
I feel like we read it in the mood that we're currently in.
Interesting theory.
100%.
Yeah, that's true.
Interesting theory.
100%.
Okay.
100%. That's my biggest issue with chat. And I'm a big advocate for emojis in chat.
Me
Use
too.
fucking
Yes.
emojis, man, so I know what attitude you're speaking with.
We need to talk can be a lot of things. It could be like, we need to talk, smiley face, or we need to talk, fucking pick up. There's a
Big
big
advocate for emojis, man. In chat, that's the only way, because otherwise we're going to put our own brain spin on what is being typed out there.
Yep.
Whatever mood we're in right now. If I'm in a shit mood and I read a sentence from a friend, I'm thinking they're like, well, what kind of fucking attitude is that? And meanwhile, they're like sitting at home just going, hey, hi, how's it going?
Right.
Yeah, they're like,
Well,
exactly.
yeah.
Like, hey, I
I-
just said hi.
This might be a little off topic, but I had this thought recently that
Hi, Alicia.
that maybe hieroglyphs from like ancient Egypt were actually more advanced language than what we have today. Because look at how we keep moving closer and closer towards hieroglyphs. We have emojis now. We have personalized emojis, which are called what are those damn things called?
Avatars.
Avatars, yeah. And I'm using those all the time now. And it's like eventually, it's just like somebody said that day. Eventually, it's going to be a squiggly line, and we have to.
That's
know what
so
that
crazy.
means. You know, it's going.
I'm watching a thing on Netflix. I have to get the name of it, but it's a mockumentary about the world and everything. And they said how we've changed hieroglyphs. She goes, they had their own emojis back then, and then she shows hieroglyphics. It was just really interesting.
Yeah.
That now we're talking about it.
Mr. Joe. Joe's one of my Facebook supporters, Cash App supporters, and local supporters. Joe and Lisa are great. Thank you guys.
It's called Kunk on Earth. If you guys like mockumentaries, it's CUNK on Earth. But
So-
it's funny.
Stephanie, I don't think there's any audio still. Did you get headphones? That might fix it.
Can you hear me
there it
now?
goes. Yes.
Yay!
Good.
Hi, Steph.
Real commercial.
There we go.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome.
Oh.
It's nice
So-
to finally be part of the show.
Were you trying to talk beforehand? Tell me that.
Have a good night, Alicia.
I mean, a little bit, like when my mic wasn't working. Is that what you're saying?
You're pretty
so
quiet
before
in
that,
general, I think.
before Waylon addressed you, you weren't trying to talk.
No.
Okay. Good to
I
go.
was like, no. Like I'm gonna tell you if I was.
I was
Fuck
sitting here
off.
like a good
Don't
girl.
tell him. Yeah, don't tell him you were trying to talk for no reason.
I was listening. I mean, I didn't want to interrupt anybody. I mean,
Well, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. You gotta at least like you sort of like you just sort of you stick your toe in.
You
a
just
little
gotta
bit.
talk over him like this. No.
You stick your toe in a little bit and make it and then that's
Or
what
even
we'll do.
just raise your hand. Someone will eventually be
Yeah,
like,
that
"Oh,
works too.
her arm's up for no reason."
Why are you flicking us off? Why do you have your finger on the camera?
I'm gonna come up with us. Go
I
ahead,
did
Steph.
want to comment on what you were talking about the gut instincts, like or the feeling inside.
The natural responses, yeah, that we develop, like our instinct and our okay.
Which I find that to be like, really interesting, and I don't know. I think that comes from like the reptilian part of our brains, like the most primitive part of our brains, which is really interesting, because
We still
if
need
you
it.
look, I
think we still need it. I mean, we can easily crumble back to a point when we are hunting and gathering here, like in no time, right?
Well,
So go ahead.
especially as a woman, like, I mean,
Yeah, I would
I've
be
been in
worried about
situations
that.
where it's like, I just get this feeling like it's just
There's that guy you know you shouldn't talk to.
like, I mean,
The
well,
one that we got with anyway.
Yeah. Sometimes.
I'm dating and like
Face
meeting
case.
different people.
Right? I feel women have certain different fears than men would definitely have, or certain men have.
Absolutely.
You know,
I think
especially
women are just
smaller.
more in touch with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or well, they might also let the fear control them a little bit more too. Would you say? Because some men.
I
because
I know a lot of I know
Hold
way
on,
too
hold
many
on.
men. That,
Think about it statistically, though. Men statistically do jobs that are dangerous more, and we're also stupid. We do a lot of stupid stunts. You guys have seen the
And
reels
you're
where
scared of ants.
well, maybe those are irrational. Those are fears, but I'm saying the actual definition of fear had to do with things that are threats and of danger to us. And
I think you got two different subjects mixed in there because you were talking about doing stupid shit. Well, that's got nothing to do with fear. That's
fear
got
of
to do with
danger.
fucking brains.
Fear of danger, though. No, I get
I
your
ain't
joke
afraid
there.
to do it.
but
I'm just
it's
smart enough not to.
Okay, touche. All right, I'll give you that. I'm not saying men are smarter. I'm saying men. Men ignore fear more often. I think men are more apt to do dangerous things.
I disagree. I think that
Yeah,
they are
me
more
too.
apt to just not get in that situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I disagree.
Yeah.
I think y'all hide it differently.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I think you don't see it like if you're talking about workplace kind of shit and that kind of stuff, because while it's harder for women to get in to those kind of things, we're not accepted. So it's a lot harder for a woman to climb the ladder in a lot of those kinds of situations as well. But most women that I know are fearless, especially after they become a mom.
Yeah.
Well, we talked. There's different kinds of fears, right?
Yeah. No,
He's not letting it go. He's like,
just all
well, you
around.
know.
Well, it's a
Once you've had a
statistic.
baby, not much fucking scares
It's a
you.
fact. It's a factual statistic that much higher percentage of men do things that are dangerous. Work lines of work that are dangerous. And you might be right that maybe some of them are because they say no women allowed. But other ones are like just in general, men do more dangerous things like police and military. Maybe those are for reasons that aren't necessarily altruistic. Maybe they want to be, a bad guy.
I think there's a lot of women. Many women in those fields.
I think there's enough women in those fields to show you that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's for lack of or for being scared, that we fear
me
being
neither.
an officer. It's that
I didn't say that.
opportunities are not.
It's not what I mean.
Yeah, the opportunity.
there's
I mean,
a
my
lot of
husband's in
factors.
mining, right? The old man works in mining. He works in the office. He's not underground. He's an office jockey. But he's been at the mines. We've been at the mines for 25 years. And there's more women every year working at the mine. And when there's a job to be done and it would be considered what you're talking about, like a dangerous situation or whatever, it's always the women that are first to fucking sign up. So there's that.
I guess I can admit that I don't have the numbers offhand.
Yeah.
Sure. I gotta fix my camera here because I'm frozen. Give me a second.
Stop it, please.
How are you?
I'm good.
I don't know if we fully let Stephanie finish her story, but I did want to at least ask you how you're doing. And I am back.
Stephanie
So
has
I
a
just
mic
did
now.
a quick Google, by the way.
Okay.
I think
Just
there's a
like-
lot of factors with the man thing. I mean, there's cultural shit, how we were raised, that machoism, not wanting to admit fear because it shows weakness.
Okay, go
And
back
I
300
actually-
years.
I'm
Back
on
1,000
the-
years. That's the same thing.
I'm on the female side on this, honestly. I think, look
more
at crime.
women. More women. Okay, my whole point was men. I think men ignore their fear more. I'm not saying fearless. I'm not saying people that are brave.
We're
Women
pushed
can
to
be
show
brave.
no fear more, but are we really
Well, maybe.
fearless?
What I mean by ignore their fear is do something.
Look at
even though-
crime. There's
Yeah.
way
Men.
far less females that commit violent crimes than there are men. And is that because, and they already did the
Because we're
studies
not
on
as
that.
stupid.
Is it because of
Well,
fear,
you might
or
be
is
right
it
about
because
that.
of
That's
risk
not the
and
point.
reward?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, look, y'all better look in the comments, Waylon.
Man, y'all ain't even getting me in on this. Watch this.
Steve-O's the smart one. Yeah,
It's
he
not
said, I'm
sexism.
here with my wife, I'm married,
It's not
we're
sexism.
good.
I'm talking about the numbers.
I ain't even, man, you ain't even getting me in on this one.
Like, this is going to switch to a non-fear conversation real quick.
I had this very simple point. You guys are everyone wants to deviate, but my
Even
whole
the
point
guys,
was
I mean, it's not just girls, it's everybody's like, where you going, bro? Where are you headed?
like this. My point is not that we're smarter because of it. My point is that yes, it is still a fact that more men do dangerous things, whether that's being a drug dealer, being a bad guy, a good guy, anything guy, astronaut. There are more men in those spaces, and it's not all sexism that keeps women out. Because look at countries like Norway and Switzerland. If you want to take a country that is the almost all homogenized, but also completely open for any STEM or any of these dangerous things. Women can 100% do them. But guess what? When nature is allowed, when they're allowing that for anyone to do anything, more women tend to do the things that we traditionally think, and more men are still doing the dangerous things. It's a fact.
Because being peaceful and being united is not doing violence.
That's right.
And women are much more about
the majority of our taxes go to the military.
And look what Ricky just wrote,
The
though.
majority of our taxes go to the war
definition. It's the definition of fear, Kim.
But I'm sorry, you're confusing fear with fucking common sense and personal choice. We're making these choices not out of fear. It's out of what we want and what works for us and what makes sense for our lives. We've weighed the pros and cons and said, yeah, no, that's not worth it. That isn't fear. That's
I never had a fear
sense. That's
of
evaluation.
selling drugs. It was fine for me.
I mean, it isn't out of fear of doing something. I'm not afraid of anything. I'll get on
I know
anything.
a
I'll
lot
do
of
anything twice. I mean,
I know a lot of unsuccessful male dealers. I don't really know too many unsuccessful female ones.
I'm not saying whether it's good or bad, you guys. You guys are taking
Just saying.
this in a different direction. I'm not saying it's good or bad.
no, but you're saying it's out of fear, and it's not.
What's out of fear? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying men ignore their fear in order to, because they like to do things that are dangerous.
So Ricky says,
women don't do that out of fear.
Ricky says, I don't think men ignore the fear.
Again, though.
I'm just saying at a higher percentage, more men do that. That's all I'm saying. Is that not true?
Well, I'm going to bring up what Ricky says because I agree with
But those
that.
stats
I
are
don't think
based on
men
times when they
ignore
didn't
the
even
fear.
have the
I think the
opportunity.
fear of being labeled a wuss overtakes the fear of whatever it is we're about to do. I agree with that. I think men are typically supposed to be masculine and no fear, as you're saying, and
Typically, for a reason.
typically. But that's because they're labeled a wuss if they're not. So you guys don't show your fear the
Think
same.
of the Wild West. Think of caveman times. Like, you weren't labeled a wuss. It was because you were the bigger piece of meat that had to put yourself in the way of the person who can potentially carry your lifeline on by making family and making, and women have been the more.
That's survival.
Yes, and that's what I'm talking about. Fear is a survival thing. And I'm not saying, you guys are talking about cultural norms today. I'm talking about 100% all of time. Men have.
But you're
ignored
talking
fear
about.
in
Okay,
stupid ways.
so
A
are
lot
you
of times,
saying
I'm not saying
that?
these are bad
Like
ways? Maybe men are
physiological
stupider.
response of your body.
Yes, like fight or flight. Like we and maybe in a lot of terrible, stupid ways. We'll jump and now we do extreme sports, and women do too. I'm not saying women don't. Guys, calm down. Women are very important beings. Okay.
I wasn't going to talk about debatable shit. Damn it.
Listen, well, hey, we got to.
This is one of the things I thought in my head I wanted to avoid talking about.
Came up in the right time, Ima.
Well, listen, we can't have every episode be peaches and cream, Like I want to emphasize that my point isn't that we're better because of it. I'm just saying that we will do stupid things. We on The Simpsons, we're the guys with pots on our heads, circling around, running into each other. We're the guys doing you see those reels of guys getting their balls racked when they're doing skateboard tricks.
I get what you're saying. I just don't think it has anything to do with fear.
I think it's stupidity.
You guys, I'll pull it up one more time. It's the definition. It's literal cause pain.
I'm on my phone. I can't read that shit.
So okay. I pulled up also, and this is gonna make you happy, Waylon. I pulled up, do men or women fear more? And it does say substantial evidence indicates that women report greater fear and are more likely to develop anxiety disorders than men. Women's greater vulnerability for anxiety disorders can be partly understood by examining gender differences in the etiological factors known to contribute to anxiety.
and that's society based, so that's not nature based. Like, that's not built into us. That's because of the way our society rates women at a lower rung than men. I mean, that's common knowledge. We get paid less for the same job, less opportunities to get higher up the ladder, more bullshit. We're expected, you know, there's certain roles that we're all expected to play. And women have always been, I mean, at one time we were property. I mean, we were literally, when you got married, you were given from your parents to your spouse, and that was ownership. So, I mean, I think that goes back to a deep breeding of our times and women's role in society. And I think that's built into us over the last, you know, several thousand years.
Well,
I think a lot of that
changes
correlates
have
into
happened
that
with that.
whole emotional aspect of how we can be wired different based on our outside forces. You know what I mean? Just like you guys brought up before, when you become a mother, that shit gets wired different, man. Your instinctual shit overrides other shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why that's that debatable stuff too, the different kinds of bonds, and I believe in all that shit, and I'm not going to talk about that shit right now, but I totally agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think it's again, our definition of fear. It doesn't matter really to me what it says in the dictionary. Fuck, how many definitions got changed in the dictionary in the last 4 years? Let's start with that. Or you know, go into the dictionary for our explanations, right? When they're changing definitions of terms and words in the dictionary in the last 4 years, that's no longer a reputable source for information.
Well, then, but neither are statistics that are old and that are actually not true anymore.
Well, that's what I was saying
again,
too. Like all your military stats is based on a time when they didn't even have the opportunity to decide whether or not they were going to put themselves in danger.
Like right
you
now.
know what I mean?
That's right. That's right.
The
That's
more
my point.
information and studies you have, the more. That's how we change. That's how we evolve. That's how we learn.
That's
you
right.
know what I mean?
So, what old stats? Like you're talking about right now, where everyone is allowed equally, and you still have the.
It's built in. That's like saying every black person has an equal opportunity. Well, that all depends on what fucking state you're in, doesn't it? I mean, like,
it depends on your
built
economic
in,
status.
man. This is shit that's been pounded into our society for thousands of years. And, you know, the dictionary and all of this shit and studies and all of that, when they first started, they were done by men about women. Because women weren't even allowed to be in the medical profession at the time that these fucking studies started being compiled. We're still climbing the ladder and clawing our way into certain places. I think all of these definitions are based on societal norms, is what I'm saying. Even if it says in the dictionary that fear, it's about fear, I'm saying a woman, as a woman, it isn't about fear, because I'm not fucking afraid of anything. I'll tell you right now, at 60 years old and with arthritis and a bad back, I'd still go toe to toe with a 20-year-old if I fucking had the urge, right? I'm not afraid of anything.
If I had the urge, goddamn.
And if I have the need or the urge to do so, well, the urge will only come if the need is there. But you know, I mean, I'm not afraid of anything. So I think all of these predispositions and assumptions that women are more fearful are there because of societal norms that have been pounded in our society over thousands of years, where it started where women were property, and we're still clawing our way out of that. And I think that's where your assumptions come from, Waylon, is from living in a society like that. Well, that's not what your way of thinking then is from living in our society. Like that's pounded that women are more fearful.
You might be,
and
that could be 100%
true.
correct, along with what I said. You're
I just don't
giving
believe
a
it's
reason.
true.
You're giving a reason.
But
and
I
I'm
think
saying a
naturally
fact that's-
women should be more fearful. I mean, we're the smaller feet. I mean, typically or on average, you know, for the weaker.
I
There
can
was
tie
something
what I
else
said
that
in the
Google
comment
said when I looked
earlier
it up.
to
It said
all
that.
this. When I said I would stand up at times in violence for others, I was a father. And I'm not saying now this is true. I'm just saying this is my personal opinion. my son didn't come into my mind and I threw myself into violence in front of others, I'm willing to bet that that mother instinctual thing would have thought, man, I could die from this. And who is going to take care of my child? I didn't even evaluate that.
If it
So is that
comes to your
ignoring
baby-
violence or ignoring fear, or is that not risk and reward? You know
Well,
what I
our
mean?
fear
What
is greater.
that?
Our fear is greater of not being there for our children than it is of whatever act it would be.
Because
Fear is healthy,
adrenaline
ignoring
kicks
fear is
in.
not.
When it comes to
See that, and that ties into the wiring shit too. You know what I mean? How that happens. We get wired by these things that, you know what I'm saying, our other responsibilities, our other things in life. We get changed, we adapt, you know, to shit like that. And with Waylon, like even compounded things become worse or better or whatever. You know what I mean?
But it's great to talk about this shit openly without like getting all fucking hostile and shit.
Oh,
right?
yeah. That's why I hate talking in the comments, you know?
if it's between like a man and a woman, I mean, this is just like typical, okay? Like man and a woman, like the man naturally is supposed to be the protector of the woman. However, if there's a child involved, or, you know, I mean, especially an infant, I mean, duh.
Yeah.
Like, Mama Bear is going to come out. She's going to be fucking nuts. Like,
Absolutely.
ain't nobody seen what a crazy woman can do when it comes to her baby.
And let that child be special needs too. I'll lift a fucking car and throw it.
Yeah.
You know, like don't.
We've seen that adrenaline happen. What was that lady lifted off a helicopter one time off of her? It was
the front end of a car back in the 80s. A woman in Toronto lifted the front end of a car off a kid.
I remember that one. Yeah, I remember the car off the kid, but yep.
You think
All right, guys. Melanie and I do have another show that we got to get to, so I do want to say goodbye. Appreciate each and every one of you guys.
We're out of here.
But we do got to go. So great show tonight.
Absolutely. I got to split too, man. I've had a long ass fucking day. But I wanted to pop in. It was an interesting conversation. Thanks for having me.
Always
Have a good
is,
night.
definitely.
Thanks, Kim. Go check out the NOK Network. Go check out the 42710 Waffle House.
Hey,
you
vote
guys.
for me. CanExpo.com. CANNExpo.ca. Sorry, .ca. CanExpo.ca. Kim Cooper for podcast Peace, News, and Views. Vote for me. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Kim.
Good night.
Wow, I missed a lot of comments there.
I
Keep track
can't
of
look
the
at the
conversation.
comments when I'm on stream, man.
Yeah, I'm like,
I always have to get back into my spaceship again and come back.
Yeah, and then you got Ricky writing a novel there, man. How in the hell am I going to read that? Since becoming a father, I've become much more fearful of the thought of my kids growing up without me. It's horrifying, and I'm not saying that because I'm the greatest dad in the world. I do something stupid to remove myself from their lives. It's no doubt going to cause them harm. But, you know, we're talking about in the moment. We're talking about flight or fight response. What are you going to do? And I believe that any parent, whether it be one of these, crazy mama bear brunettes that are going to, kick somebody's butt or some jazz, which can happen, absolutely. But I think the same for any father. I don't think that there's really any difference. I think any parent is going to take care of even another child that's not their own. My wife was sitting here.
sure.
She was going crazy during that last part because she's just like, even if those kids weren't mine, she goes, I would fight to the death for those kids like they were my own. And now that's something that I believe is very maternal.
Yeah, and not at all what I was getting at. I mean, everybody got in a big tiff, but I love to explain myself, so I'll keep coming back at it. I don't care.
You did a great
hate me all
job.
you want. You guys can hate me all you want, but there is, the point of this is not that who fears more than others. That was not my point. My point was not who's
Correct.
better, man or woman. That was not my point.
No.
My point was men enjoy things that are dangerous. Men choose to do things that are dangerous because we enjoy it. Women do as well on a smaller percentage is all I'm saying. And I'm not saying that either one of
Which
them
might tie into that shit too.
Right, exactly. When I say
You know
ignore
what I mean?
fear, I don't mean ignore fear to do the right thing. I don't mean ignore fear when your kid is in danger. That's not what I mean. I mean ignore fear to go and get your balls racked on some stupid trick that you shouldn't need to do. And women
I
do
think
some
that's
things
tied
like
into
that.
how
but
we're
where's the-
wired too.
Yeah, maybe, and it could be some like some people said before. Oh,
Yeah.
you're a wuss or whatever. I don't know that that's it. I think men in general like to do things that are more dangerous.
You
You
know-
know, the power tools, the old Tim the Tool Man Taylor. Yes, that's TV show Val, but that's just a sort of point. And I don't mean just in America. I pay attention to the world in general. And you know, although Americans are becoming less and less masculine in general because of medication and different things with our water supply, and there's multiple issues there. Low testosterone.
That's a big one.
And we can't be without testosterone. You know,
Correct.
like
Yeah,
you
that's a
can't,
big one.
We can't have that. We can't have that happen. But those are like related to fear. It has to do directly with my point. My point was that men like to ignore the fear, even though we shouldn't. You know, we shouldn't. People, if a woman and a man are in the same position, and then a woman doesn't ignore her fear, she's probably more likely to survive than the man.
Well-
and that's why we're wired that way.
Well, and I think you're completely in the clear because you were clear about what you meant, and
right.
I think that it all made sense. I think the only thing that happened was I think that Kim, she's got a lot of firecracker in her, and she's real into the things that she feels, and I think that it lit a fire under her for a second, and then of course here comes all the other ladies to her defense, which you'd expect.
And that's okay. I get it. I don't mind defending myself, especially if the chat has.
Hey, it's not defending, man.
It was not.
Okay, well, what would it be? Just responding, I guess. Making a response.
I think this was a
We
great
should be able to
episode.
share our perspectives and our points of view without.
Well, it wasn't even.
And I don't
opinion-driven.
think you guys are really disagreeing. That's the whole point,
right?
Of
Just
why
passive.
you have that dialogue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
You know
I
what
think
I mean?
we all possess the ability to have that. I mean, we all have the gut instinct, for lack of a better term. And we all
Changing
have that
your own
innate
perspective, you have to hear others.
Yeah,
But-
true.
You know,
So perspective.
or even to learn from your own. You know what I mean? It don't be necessarily changing your own. It could be allowing you to expand your own. You know.
Other things to look at is called different perspectives, and that's what she has. She's been around for a long time. She's completely intelligent. It's not like you're going to absent her completely thinking it at all. But what you're trying to say is, I'm going to listen to what you're saying and then do it. But she got really passionate about something, and it kind of took a little different direction. But I don't think anyone did anything in any negative way to sway
We
it.
want those. We want those heated, not necessarily heated, but we want those exchanges to
See
show
how
that
much
people
we have to fight that? Because even how we word this shit, heated and like defend and attack and all that stuff.
Fighting the
we're
urge
so
to spin
used
it.
to how it is, and it shouldn't be that way.
And we're used to
Right.
spinning it. We're used to spinning things now.
What we're doing.
With our own well-being, make ourselves either look like a victim or look like some sort of a good person in the situation. And I think just showing that right there shows that we have different perspectives on the same topic, even though we were sort of on separate rails,
Yeah.
And it's like, and everybody has that with each thing. That's why, to bring it back to the beginning, is the fact that we all have the same emotions, but we all use them differently, and we're triggered by each one of them are triggered differently. Somebody might see, a hot dog and be like, oh man, like think of every summer vacation they ever had and just every fucking 4th of July and just be loving it. And me, I see something that I decided to stop eating. a while back, even though I was raised on them too. You know, that's something that I'm like I avoid now. So it's like, you know, emotions, man, and smells. Smells can make you afraid too. Like if you smell something that reminds you of how you're vulnerable, that can bring you right back there.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is, but it's something about smells can take you back. It's like so many years or some crazy shit like that. And you have some type of emotional response to that smell. That's like a thing.
Well, they say the smell is the most connected to your memories.
Okay, yeah, that's what it is.
But it's something about smells activate the most memories in our lives.
Absolutely, I agree. My mother wore one perfume my entire life, and when she passed away, I have her urn on the thing, and I have her perfume there. And when my cousins come over, I spray it, and they all are like, "You stupid bitch! Did you really do that right now?" Like I just, you know what? It's something. It's something that takes you back to a time, takes you back to 20 years, 30 years, something where you've never been before. And it just transcends you into something.
Now, let me ask you this, though, guys. Do you have deja vu smells? Have you ever had deja vu in a smell?
I mean, I've had a smell that took me, like I had an emotional response to, but I didn't remember what it was at the time.
Yeah, I guess that's different. I guess every smell is deja vu.
You know, I've been in the middle of a restaurant and I smelled the smell of somebody and I knew who it was. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I knew it was taboo, and I went to her at the table and I said, "Are you wearing Avon Taboo?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, I got that on." And I'm like, "I absolutely, like, you are someone's old auntie that I used to love." And yeah, it'll take you right back to a spot when you were like, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, one time I smelled some some rotten tuna.
Oh my!
Why are you laughing?
You always listen.
Steve-o.
You always
I wasn't going there, dude.
Steve-o.
Let me tell my story.
Always.
You see, man, this is why
It's just so funny.
I wasn't going there. Why did you blast off like that, dude? She literally just blasted off like that's exactly.
All right, man. You smelled some. We're listening, man. We get it. I want to hear the freaking story now.
Sorry, that's why I cut it off. What story?
Rotten tuna. You smelled rotten tuna.
Oh yes, rotten tuna. Was this on your hands? Oh, he left us.
I wasn't doing that.
He left us.
What?
No, man, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be vulgar like that. Just because, you know, she blurted out like that, it just aggravated me. Because I shouldn't have said it the way I
didn't
said
hear
it.
her say that. I heard you say it.
Yeah, I know. But
Who blurted
I did.
what out?
One time I smelled some rotten tuna and it smelled like popcorn, like burned popcorn. And I couldn't eat popcorn almost all through my childhood until I got older. So anyway, that was my story. But I guess when I came out and I immediately said, you know, I should have known.
Sorry, that's my fault.
Waylon, you're bogus.
I know.
But
Listen, we've
I
been
don't-
on for a while, guys, and I've had quite a few medications. So when I hear something like that, you know, and I've been.
No, man, I don't try to talk that way.
You're right, Steve-O. That's what I like about you. You're not
Look.
always going down in the gutter and whatnot.
Can you guys hear me?
I see two Waylons on the screen.
Yeah.
There's two
Well,
Waylons
no,
on the screen.
Steve-O,
Waylio.
Sing it.
like when you started to say that, I mean, I didn't know if it was going to be a joke or what, but
I thought he was joking.
Well, because of the way she reacted immediately, of course, you guys thought I was telling some nasty ass joke, but I wasn't
Oh
trying.
no, actually, I'm gonna be honest here. I knew you weren't telling the joke. I just rode with it.
Oh, you. Oh.
Hey, man, I'm honest.
That's what I like. I like honesty. I use a salesman. If you guys have ever been a salesperson, you're the most incentivized to lie in your entire life. But I would just tell them in an honest way, like, listen, if you can't afford this repair in your car, like, you can get away with it, but man, you're gonna need it as soon as you can, But that's not saying if you leave here today, you're probably gonna die, like what some people would say, some shit like that. Like, you could die if you leave today with this car like this. No, go ahead, go get your finances in order or whatever, but come back and see me when you can get this done.
Are we done talking about fear?
The fear of salespeople.
Yeah, I think
salespeople is a big one. You come in the store and they come looking at you, and I'm just we've wrapped up the topic, guys. I do appreciate everyone coming out. We got 8 people still hanging out. Let's definitely have an after party. We should do the after party on my profile. What do you guys think? Where we at? We're on the page right now. Everybody, let's see. We got 7 people on the page, 1 person on the profile.
Hey, Steve-O, when are you guys doing the 2 of you, your guys' next show?
Monday. Oh no, she's sitting here shaking my chair back and forth.
I thought that was you.
I thought you were adjusting.
No.
No. I shake my chair back and forth with my feet. I'm like, what the fuck?
She inches her way in. She doesn't want to be on camera, but then she'll be like an inch off the camera, annoying the shit out of me.
Valerie, I know a whole lot of women that talk like that with that specific thing, but nah, I wouldn't say so. No.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to ruin your show, Will.
You didn't. Valerie just likes to bust my chops. I don't mind. My old boss used to tell people I'm a little more expensive.
I got a great topic I want to talk about, and
other guy. Go ahead.
I was curious if you guys wanted to talk about it or not.
Like,
you mean like for a whole episode, or?
Yeah, not right now.
Well, let's hear it. I can put it on the list.
Well, it's about CBN and CBD.
You want to do it this Monday? Or you want to do it on people in boxes?
I actually am going to be... So, yeah, let's not talk about this on here.
All right.
No, I was reading this about being a plumber. That's why I was laughing.
People who try to do it themselves, yep.
My son's a plumber. He's 23, right? Ryan's 20. Yeah, he'll be 23.
To get into. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of
I actually hate plumbing.
Trade skills. Yeah, I hate plumbing too. That's why I'm glad people want to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I mean, we need our water, and we need to be able to get rid of our excrements and stuff and our waste. So, I mean, we're always going to need plumbers, and with these young guys not, getting into the trades as much, we're going to have a shortage at some point.
Plumbing's frustrating too.
It is. It really is. It's like any kind of trade. It's like that's kind of where our son is. It's like he's just having a hard time, and it's like they want to show you something, but it's like if you don't get everything right on the fly, and they're like trying to treat like shit. They don't want to talk to you like shit, like it was old school, and you're not used to old school. It's just hard. It's really hard.
Wait, so
oh no, it's me, Mario. I'm sorry.
What state are you guys in? What school is he going to?
We're in Illinois. No, everything's fine for him. We're talking about other people. He notices that a lot of other people have a rough time.
Oh yeah.
With wanting to get in.
A lot of that's on where they're learning too. Yeah. That's why I was asking you that.
Would you say there was a bottleneck or maybe a clog in the line of getting in?
Yeah. I think that's
Nobody?
a good part of it, I'd say.
Oh shit!
Nobody caught. Nobody at all.
Come here, Waylon. Come here.
I'm right here.
No,
Hello, I'm in the sky.
That got you guys.
Whaley-o. He's a
Steve, you
whaley
said,
cat.
Well, then, actually,
you said
just
that your
had to be
son.
inspired.
You said that your son said there that it was tough for a lot of people to get in, and I said, well, would you say that maybe there was a clog or a
bottleneck.
A bottleneck?
Mm-hmm. I would say that they're
like plumbing terms. You get it?
Oh,
got you.
Slim.
There you
Hey,
go.
you got to
There
hit
you
the.
go.
You got to hit the. You got to hit the button on that. You got to hit the applause button.
I thought I had it set up, but no, I don't see it.
There's good money in like union plumbing. My nephew's dad.
Oh, all those trades pay well, and there's a need for all of them, like all plumbing, electric, all that.
And it's to have like a man with a skill like that.
Did you hear that? Did you guys hear the laughter? Yeah, for some reason that
I can hear it.
The audio doesn't work out on my computer. Turned way down, but for some reason it's still playing like normal.
Ready? Well,
Ready to get going, Steve-O? We
No.
can probably. What?
I ain't
You guys
going
want to
nowhere.
move this? Well, we got everybody's on the page, so we can just stay here for a little while longer.
Sure.
I can barely hear you, Waylon.
We got the Whaley cat. We got
Really?
the Alma Burn.
Can you guys hear me, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah, now I can.
Yes.
Strange.
Can you not hear me?
I got turned all the way up, I think. Steve-O, yeah, I can.
Okay.
I thought about saying no, but
No, I can't. Yeah, because I would have slid right by me. I'd have been like, "What? What? What?"
I have there's a second laugh track, but it's super weak. Where's it?
I got to get off here too.
Oh, okay.
All right, bro.
All right, bro. Thanks for hanging out, man. Let me know what your thoughts are on the show. I wrote it down.
Hey,
Up to
Ami,
you.
you care if I hit you up with some questions?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
Hold on a second.
Thanks, man.
I'm gonna hit you. Up.
What?
Up. I'm gonna hit you up.
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, I got goofy ass humor.
I'm gonna upper hit you.
Embarrassing humor. No, I just. Which one is that? Is that one?
It's the one.
The purple one.
Which one is what?
On your
yes. No, it's not purple. It's red.
Oh.
It's red. But yeah, we'll go
We'll
ahead
go
and
over there and
here, guys. It's
hit them
10:30.
all.
Yeah. Steve-O, thanks again, buddy. Thanks for coming up. I'm Stephanie.
No, I was gonna say earlier, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday I can't do shit. But I'm gonna be by you those 3 days. I'm gonna be in Peoria working a job.
That means that there's nothing. That means that I still won't see you. I do want to get some butter made though. So let me know if you get a chance to come by at some point with all that material I have to make lots of butter. But yeah, let me know if you get a minute, or I can maybe stop over where you're at. Yeah, we'll talk. Guys, I'm going to play the People in the Boxes commercial that I made just so that you can hear my voiceover. Hey, special. It's the same thing as our intro, but you didn't hear the voiceover yet. So I want to hear your honest opinions on the voiceover before we go on. Anybody got 5 lovely, wonderful people still hanging out. You guys are all the best of all people ever.
Like including us?
No, it doesn't include you. You are unincluded.
I think it's more like discluded.
Oh, sniz that. What'd you call her? The stalker something something?
Oh, no, I didn't do that.
I'm missing some shit here.
Yeah. Stephanie's been stalking Sir Steve-O for a while.
Not me. No, she ain't stalking me, man.
I'm not a stalker.
She has another cat named Steve-O.
Oh.
Oh no! Oh no! That's the Crazy Train video, dude. That's why she's got the video with the other cat in it.
So Steve-O's older. All right, here's the commercial with my voice, guys. Hey everybody, Thursday nights at 8 o'clock Central Time. Come in, relax, and chill with our host as we discuss the hard topics using a little bit of humor and professionalism, mostly. On People in the Boxes, everybody. A show that asks you to share your experience.
Here's the thing with addiction is never say never, because when you're an addict, like I never
Nice. I like that, Waylon. Nice voiceover.
I couldn't hear it. Can you play it again? I'm sorry. I wasn't getting sound, and then I saw it said tap for sound.
Why?
Why what?
But why? No one else had that. No one else had to do that. Why?
Well, I don't know.
Why?
I don't know why everything's got to be so.
I don't want to play it again, but I did post it up. I don't. It's, everyone's seen it enough. It is posted. I did post it. So if you could go there, like and share it, it'd be great. It's on my page, and I've shared it to my profile already. But with that being said, we're gonna get out of here, guys. Thanks for everybody who's been hanging out, watching. Thank you for all my local supporters out there, guys. Appreciate you. Two of them are on the screen. Appreciate you guys. And watch this cool outro, guys. Appreciate it. Have a great night. We'll see you next week.